Coming soon to this theater.
What up,
everybody?
Whoa, that's an old video of me. Hey, everybody, what's going on? It's moi. It's me. You're so lucky. You're so incredibly blessed and fortunate to be here tonight because we are going to be talking monster comics with monster comic creators, and we're not just gonna be talking about monster comics. We're talking about monster movies, obviously, and just monsters in general. I've had an obsession with monsters since I was a wee sprout, ever since I was like a little kid. My earliest memories, many of my earliest memories are of watching monster movies. One of my earliest memories is watching Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman. That was the one that really grabbed me when I was a kid. And God, man, you know, I caught like the very end of the tail end of monster culture, which is to say there was like a big boom in the 60s and the early 70s. You had the Addams Family, you had the Munsters, and you could still at that point when I was a little kid, you could still go to the hobby shops and get the Aurora Monster model kits, which, my God, you don't find a grown-up monster kid from that era that didn't have at least like a few of those. I had all of them, of course. Monsters represent our greatest fears, our darkest desires. They're also symbols of otherness, and they are incredibly durable. They have always been with us, and I like to think they always will be with us, and that we need them. Tonight we have a couple of guests, and hopefully more popping in. We've got Ollie from 656. What kind?
What's it going on?
That's too general, dude. and we have and we also have from 656 is Ray.
What's up, guys? Sorry I'm not on camera.
It's okay.
The living room is being occupied right now, so I can't set up my little area. But what's up? What's going on?
Not much, man. Running my second one of these streams, hoping it doesn't turn into a complete and utter shit show.
Oh no, we're gonna have a good time, man. We're gonna talk about the stuff we love, which is monsters. So that's cool.
Oh God, I love monsters, man. By the way, first we should take a look at the Cryptidnals. Do one of you guys want to share your screen?
Oh sure, hold on. Let me set up here.
Because cool. I'm very boomerish and it's difficult for me to like.
we noticed.
I'm on my phone, man, so I couldn't even do it if I wanted to. So
okay, all right, it's all good.
Let me just convert the currency into dollars because Ray doesn't like.
Oh man, I was on Bancroft's stream and I was just like, I saw like what looked like $50,000 for Six Gun. I was just like, holy shit! And he's like, oh no, wait, that's not dollars. So it's like, fuck.
Oh, what were they, like euros or something? Or?
No, Australian dollar reduce.
Yeah, now the best of course would be the best would be like Italian lira because it'd be like literally like millions.
Oh man,
pesos, man, cool. Pesos can get you far.
Not really.
I don't doubt it.
Yes, it can. Yes, it can. So yeah, we're at 14,271. Wow, it's nice. Right.
Hell
good job.
Good job.
Hell yeah.
we want to close it at 20,000. I mean, that would be badass.
Oh, dude,
that would be.
You're there.
Yeah, we're almost there.
Yeah, without a doubt. And once people start getting these books in their hands, and the reviews start coming in, that's when people are really going to back it, because then they have confidence that they're going to get their book, and also that it's fire. And this book is just absolute fire. First of all, 132 pages. That's not a comic. That's a trade paperback, right?
Oh yeah,
Graphic novel. Yeah.
graphic
Or a
novel.
graphic novel. Yeah, no, I mean, I'll use the term graphic novel, even though I hate the term graphic novel.
Me too.
Because
It's a comic, man. That's all
it's
it
a comic
is.
book. It's a funny book, damn it.
I kind of describe it as comic books are floppies, graphic novels are collected editions. That's how I
Yeah,
interpret it, no? How I justify it. But yeah, it's comic books. It's all comic books.
it's all comic books.
Graphic novels is when you want to impress normies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And fuck that. Right? Because really, that was like a term that was created to kind of legitimize comics. And we
Mhm.
know comics don't need legitimizing, right?
Oh yeah.
That they're already legit.
I
Oh
mean,
man, look at
yeah.
this art, dude. Yeah, this is amazing.
Oh,
Beautiful,
man.
beautiful,
Dario,
beautiful, beautiful black and white art.
Dario's just nailing it, man. The newer pages that he's handing in right now because he's finishing up the book. Oh my god, man! It just gets better and better and better.
Oh. I mean, I would buy this even not knowing anything about it, just because the art is just so spectacular and the monsters are so great. But this is a monster mash. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
right. And if there's one thing I love, it's a monster rumble. And I can't help it, man. If I see monsters going toe to toe in a movie, I can't keep my mouth shut. It's a good thing if I'm not in a movie theater, I gotta go Monster Rumble.
Dude, I've been reading the latest pages from Ray, and he delivers, man. He keeps his promises. It's monster war, man. It's monster fights, monster death, monster killing.
Yeah,
A lot of
baby.
monsters.
Chock a
man.
block. Chock a block.
It sucks because I was telling Dario because Dario's grown very fond, of course, because of some of the characters, and it kind of hurts to tell him which ones are gonna get off. And he's like, "Wait a minute, what? No, wait, no," and he got surprised when I told him some of the monsters that were dying, that were perishing, and he's like, "What do you mean? You can't do that?" But he's still delivering nonetheless, even though it's happening to some of his favorite ones. Yeah, it broke his heart.
Dude, some of the deaths are very heroic, man. Very kinda brings a tear to your eye. But I don't have tears to shed, so
I don't have to. That's why he wears shades all the time.
I have no eyes.
Just glowing coals.
Oh man.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing that I also loved about Undead Border was that it was made with like a lot of heart.
Oh shit! Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I boomered it. No. I was gonna hide my camera because I was gonna get something from the shelf, but yeah,
it's all good.
That's cool.
Well, oh yeah, that's my job to kind of restore that, isn't it?
Yeah, please,
there we go. I'm like waiting for you to do something. You're waiting for me to do something.
It's all good. But like you were saying about Undead Border.
Yeah, I was just, I mean, I was just blown away by it. Ollie's heard the story before. I was just not interested with the first campaign because I was like, gee, like that's just what we need is like another a zombie comic. Right?
Yeah.
And Preston was just like, no, you got to read this, brother. Did you back it? I was like, no. He's like, okay, I'm sending you one of my copies.
Wow.
And,
nice.
Right?
Cool.
Because he's like, I know you're gonna love this. And I got it, and sure enough, I loved it to pieces. And it was genuinely creepy, made my skin crawl, but it also had this huge heart. And to me, when you can put a lot of heart into your monster comic, I'm a sucker for that. A lot of us have a lot of deep affection for monsters, and monsters,
yes.
of course, it's like parents are often afraid to show their kids monster movies, and what they don't understand is that kids are often more likely to identify with the monster than they are to be afraid of it.
Mm-hmm.
and that's something that I found carried over into adulthood, at least for me.
No,
And
it's true.
and you've got, some of the monsters in this who are just, damaged human souls, like
Exactly.
Lalorna. And do you just really quickly want to go through the basic plot for this?
Sure.
What people can expect?
Of course, of course. So the Cryptonals is cryptids versus tulpas. Cryptids being the monsters that we grew up with, like all the Bigfoots and the strange. I don't want to name too many because there's so many that we jam packed into the book. But basically, it's like the La Llorona, the Bigfoot. We have Kid Cthulhu in there, Spring Hill Jack. We have werewolves, we have vampires, you have like the Loveland Frog is in there, the Jackalope is in there. We even have the Ozark Howler in there. We have a bunch of different cryptids. I've been doing research on this for a very long time. I've always been fascinated by it, kind of like you. I started at a very young age. Not only that, but my family was pretty effed up, and a lot of stuff that they did kind of influenced my interest in the occult, interest in the paranormal, and especially monsters. And so the cryptids are trying to defend this reality against the tulpas, and tulpas are the new generation of monsters. These are the ones that are born in cyberspace. These are the ones that people are swearing that they see in the woods now. Oh my God, the Rake or the Slender Man or the Black-Eyed Kids. These are monsters that have been appearing like in the last 20-25 years. But we delve deep into it and we start figuring out that these things have been around for a very long time. They're just getting into a different sort of, aspect so that they can carry out their real plan. And, even though there's darkness, sometimes you need other darkness to fight it. And that's pretty much what the theme is. It's a war, a secret war of monsters. Nobody knows that it's going on. They're trying to defend this reality, but they've been criminalized all their lives. So that's where the name comes from, cryptids and criminals, and that's the Cryptonals.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Can't
Very
wait
good.
for this. That's such a badass concept. And tulpas are really interesting. I think they come originally from Hindu mythology. Am I right?
Yeah, Buddhism.
Buddhism,
Oh,
yeah, it's
okay.
a sentient thought form. So if someone believes in something enough, it'll manifest itself, and that's what these tulpas are. Like the Rake. Like, yeah, people have read up the Rake online, and now they start seeing them like in the woods or on top of houses and stuff like that. Like, where did that originate from? And it's the manifestation of this belief. This belief that all these people have, this fear that these people have that this thing is real, and that's where it's coming from. And it's becoming a real flesh and bone thing, and that's dangerous because if they go unchecked, they're just going to run rampant, especially if the belief in them continues.
There was this is a total non sequitur, but the horror writer Dennis Etchison was asked to write a sequel to Halloween. This is before they did Halloween. No, wait. He was asked to write Halloween 3 as a sequel to Halloween 2, right?
Mhm.
Where Michael Myers had been blasted to bits, and he came up with a story where Michael Myers appears as a tulpa, because
Wow.
of course, everybody in that village is still thinking about him all the time, and so he just manifests himself. But then
Other badass.
then Nightmare on Elm Street came out, and they had to nix that idea.
I mean, that it's a very old idea, a very old belief, and this extends back,
ancient.
yeah, exactly. It's very ancient, and like you're saying, the village would believe in this one thing, and sometimes, and then once again, we get into the whole hero's journey, all that, Joseph Campbell stuff, because they would choose someone from the village that would have to prove themselves and go out into the woods
Yeah.
and defeat this thing and bring back proof and be like, okay, the village is safe now, but for how long, until someone else steps up and has to do that. And that's kind of like the concept that I'm playing with in the Cryptonals. We don't know what's out there, but these monsters do, but we don't know that they exist either, and they have to step up and protect this reality that they've known before it's destroyed by something bigger and badder. And that bigger, badder thing is ancient. It's beyond ancient. It's been there all along. And there's this quote that I forget who says it, but oh man, how does it go? It's about light and darkness. That darkness will always beat light because by the time light gets there, the darkness is already waiting for it. So, and it's that's the concept that I was always like, man, that's fucking creepy. That's crazy. So
Yeah,
that's where we
yeah,
started with the Kryptonians.
yeah. It's that notion that the evil's there waiting. So, and so it's something like The Haunting of Hill House. I'm not talking about the TV show. I'm talking about the novel.
Yes,
You know,
Shirley
you get the
Jackson.
yeah, Shirley Jackson. The house was built over something that was evil, right? That there was a presence there, and you don't know what it is. You don't know if it's if it's a demon or what. All you know is that it hates you, is that it hates human beings.
Hmm.
And you know, that's what's in the house. There's no ghosts in Hill House. It's just this thing that hates humans and wants, you know, tries to get them to kill themselves so that it can basically join it, but it turns out just to be a ruse. It's you know it's just a malignant entity, a malignant force, and you don't know why these things hate us, but they do.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's something also that I put a lot of thought into when coming up with a story. Like, okay, so these guys are gonna fight something. What are they gonna fight? What's bigger than them? What's an old evil? You know, like you're saying, like something ancient. What can we use? And that's where a lot of Lovecraftian stuff started seeping into what I was writing. And there's a lot of it touches on a lot of stuff like that. You know, like the tentacles that shoot out of El Ñango, you know, and it gives a backstory to these monsters that are rising right now. Like, why does the Slender Man exist, other than standing in the woods in a three-piece suit trying to scare kids? You know, why is it really there? And then, you know, doing research, I'm like, holy crap! You know, there's more to this than that. This thing is actually really really bad, and people are believing in it so much that, you know, kids are going out and murdering themselves to
Yeah.
summon this thing. And that's the scary part because this is an ancient evil. This has been around for a very long time. And I wanted to get that aspect of it, that disturbing, that uneasiness, and put it into the book because anybody can do a slasher book. Anybody can do like a book like, oh yeah, you know, it's the monster and he's chasing everybody, all these humans, and he's trying to kill them and blah blah blah. But I wanted to take the human aspect away and just focus mostly on the monsters. And I think you said at the very beginning of the show, you know, these are all you know, monsters that have this human quality to them, but they're just broken. And
Right.
and it rings true through the whole thing because you start relating to them because they've gone through this stuff. They've never been redeemed. They've never had a chance to prove themselves that they're worth, you know, what their worth is. Especially La Llorona. La Llorona has always been looked at as this thing, this bad mother that murdered her children. There's no redemption
Vilified.
for her. Yeah, the vilified, exactly. And I was always like, no, there has to be. Everybody gets redeemed. Everybody gets a second chance. Why not La Llorona?
Yeah.
Especially in the
Exactly.
media. The media like portrays her like this evil like woman, and there has to be a reason for it. And of course, you know, doing the research, you know, going through all this stuff, I figured it out, and I'm like, oh crap! So I'm gonna do that with her and a bunch of the other characters as well.
Well, because I think with Lorna, people are freaked out by the notion of a mother killing her child. It's the most
Hmm.
unnatural thing you could
Yeah.
possibly imagine. And yet it happens. But when it happens, these are people who are not in the right state of mind.
Yes, exactly.
It's just like, you know, when people commit suicide and they leave behind children and families, and people are like, what were they thinking? I'm just like you don't understand. They weren't in their right state of mind. They actually thought that they were doing their family a favor,
Yeah.
Hmm.
right?
Exactly.
And as for redemption, it's some, you know, it's the center of my worldview without a doubt. And even in the Quran, it says that one day the gates of hell will be open and blowing in the wind, and that hell will be empty.
Yes.
Now of course, that doesn't mean like zombies all of a sudden. It means that like eventually, like that redemption is possible for everybody. I mean, not that I believe that redemption is possible. I mean, there are some people who are beyond redemption, but I think that's very, very few. I think that they're the exception to the rule.
No, I totally agree with you on that. That's and that image, because I read that as well. That image just is very powerful, knowing that people do deserve second chances and they deserve redemption. And why
Absolutely.
not, monsters? Why not these creatures that we've vilified, that we've criminalized, that we've been afraid of all this time? And that's what we're trying to do with the book itself. I mean, and don't get me wrong. I mean, there's plenty of like horrific moments and disturbing stuff and all this other stuff. It's not just like, oh yeah, these guys want to be heroes now. No, it's nothing like
no,
that.
It's not the Care Bears. It's not like they're showing up and and they want to hold hands and eat cupcakes and convince you that they're good people. They're throwing their asses on the line and they're fighting these things that are threatening humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Which I just think is just a wonderful concept. That, and also getting to see some monsters that have been underserved, right?
Oh yeah.
There's always certain monsters that have been very neglected. They haven't been portrayed enough, or in some cases haven't been portrayed at all.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of monsters out there, especially in folklore. My goodness. Do you want to? I mean, look at that. Oh, the art is just so beautiful for this. Do you want to go through your tiers real quick?
Go for it, Oliver.
Sure. We have just the basic, man. Since we're in demand, we just have the main book, the main cover, which is illustrated by Dario Rodriguez and Red Garcia. It's only $25, man. So
nice.
the cool thing about buying a book in this campaign is that you're gonna get a lot of freebies because we already unlocked a lot of stretch goals. So your purchase, you're gonna get the Mandog Unleashed supplemental book covered by Preston Acevedo and colored by yours truly.
By who?
by me. I colored.
No, not you. This Preston guy that you're talking
about?
That I don't like that dude.
Hat wearing mofo. Yeah, that guy. It's
shady dude. Oh God, I hope he's doing okay right now. And
the hurricane, right? Damn, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm waiting to hear from him and from Anthony Figueroa. I'm just drop a little fucking.
You know what, guys?
Something.
Why don't you move, man?
Why don't you move?
You're living in a bowl surrounded by soup, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's home. It's
of course, yeah, man. I mean, we live here in the fucking during a cartel war and we didn't move, so fuck it.
Pretty much,
yeah.
man.
And another non sequitur. One of the things that came across really hard in Undead Border was when I finished it, I was like, "Oh, so that's what that feels like." Do you know what I'm saying? It's like you often get so much more truth in horror than you do in nonfiction or in something that's reality based.
It's a mirror, man. It's a horror's a mirror of what's going on.
Yep. But I'm sorry, I so rudely interrupted you.
No,
it's
okay. It's okay, man. It's all part of the show.
Mandog Unleashed with a
so yeah, Mandog Unleashed contains a couple of stories that we did throughout the years, all drawn by David Olivares and written by Ray Ramos. So he could give you a little bit more info on that if he wants to.
Yeah, it's just the background, the backstory on the Mandog, because it's always been a very fascinating story to me, especially from being here in El Paso, because he's from El Paso, kind of. He's from San Elizario, which is kind of like a little suburb of El Paso. And speaking of westerns, man, like he would like you need to have a team up with him with your book, man, because his backstory. I don't know if did we tell you his backstory last time we were on?
No,
I don't remember. No. So his backstory is actually based on fact or whatever legend, if you want to call it that. Back in the 1800s, there was a salt war that erupted in San Elizario, and San Elizario was a little village that was like the portal or pathway to go to Mexico, and they had trade
because the salt mines or the salt flats are about I think about 45 to 50 miles away from where San Elizario is, and they would mine the salt and bring it through San Eli and then pass it over to Mexico and vice versa. That's where they do their salt trade. And the village that was there, that whole land was owned by some wealthy landowners, and they would treat the villagers very, very badly. So the villagers turned around and they revolted and they murdered everybody. And the the landowners called for the Texas Rangers, and the Texas Rangers showed up. And it's the only time in recorded U.S. history that the Rangers were ever defeated in any sort of battle. What the villagers did is they overwhelmed them and they killed them all, mostly. They hacked them up into pieces and they threw them down some wells. And the wells are still existent in San Elizario. And if you go out there, they have a plaque and they're like, yeah, the body parts are down there somewhere. We never got them out.
Wow.
They left one of the Rangers, they left him alive. Because apparently he was the cruelest one of them all. So they left him alive, and they said, because of what you've done, you're going to wander the earth like a dog, never finding a home, never being able to be at peace with yourself until you find redemption, or rather, I added that part. But, until you're going to just wander around. And legend has it that if you go to San Elizario at a certain time of night and you drive around, you will see this thing walking around the streets, and it's the body of a man and the head of a dog, and it's the man dog. And so I was always fascinated by that story, and I'm like, well, he needs a redemption song too. So we're like, yeah. So he comes back, or he's been around, he's immortal, he's trying to seek redemption for all the evils that he did. It's kind of like Unforgiven a little bit,
Right.
like Eastwood's Unforgiven, and he's trying to seek redemption. But the thing is, he has these two pistols, and the pistols, they are imbued with this spectral energy. And they have the ability, each bullet has the ability to destroy anything that's supernatural or a monster, anything like that. But the thing is that every time he uses a bullet, he reverts to human for at least an hour. And if he dies as a human, his soul is damned for eternity to hell. So he will never have that redemption. He will never be able to be saved. And that's the burden that he carries right now.
So he's playing for really high stakes.
Yes, exactly. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say he's our Wolverine of the group, I guess. I don't want to call it a team because it does play like a team book. I just call it a group, but he's the Wolverine of the group. And Dario and Preston, especially, they fell in love with the character, and that's why Preston wanted to do a cover of the Man Dog himself. So that's the Mad Dog. And this last chapter, oh my God, man, I didn't realize how much I hated that character because I put him through the ringer really, really badly. So it's interesting, man. The characters.
I
really
do that to characters that I love. Too,
there you go. I love him.
I feel guilty sometimes, like the new Six Gun. Oh my God.
Yeah, man.
It's just like some of the worst shit imaginable. It's like sometimes you pummel your characters so hard, but that's the thing is when you're beating on your heroes, that's something that the audience can relate to. That's something, because we all know what it's like to get our asses whipped by life.
Oh, yeah.
And it's all about getting back up. And this looks amazing, man. I cannot wait for this. How many pages? Oh, it's 24 pages.
Yeah, 24 pages.
Yeah.
It's a
floppy.
It's a floppy. It's story wise, it's only about 20, I think, and the rest is just
it's longer than the average length of like a commercial comic these days.
Yeah. Of course. and the next item you're gonna get is the Creature Apocryphal, which is a sketchbook by David Rodriguez. Behind the scenes stuff. We might even include the original Alterna pitch in there. So
nice.
it's gonna be very, very informative, man. So it's
nice.
I'm excited for that one, to design that one.
Is Samedi picking this one up?
Samedi, we submitted it, but it was during the time it got swatted. So
oh God,
yeah. So we're thinking that he wasn't up for it or something happened, and
Or you fell off his
or
radar.
maybe he was working on King Cryptid during that time, Ray. So that's why he didn't look at
Oh,
it. Yeah, I'm
Peter has
saying it.
actually been a big. He's been a big supporter. After we told him the story of what happened, that we submitted,
Yeah.
the pitch to him, and he was like, "I never got it," and I was like, and we waited. We gave him a long time. We gave him like 6 months, and he never responded. So that's when we're like, okay, well, let's just move on and continue. But he has been a big supporter. He backed the book. We've been on his show a few times. He loves the concept. He loves everything that we're doing. And interestingly enough, now he's doing King Cryptid. And I was always like, "Hey, man, that's cool. It's the sincerest form of flattery. Imitation is a sincere form of flattery." So I'm like, "Cool, that's awesome."
oh, dude, yeah. That's how do you think I feel about Octopus Cowboy?
Yes, exactly. I was about to say that too.
Yeah,
An AR-15 orangutan. and all this shit.
It's
It's like, oh no, I started a thing.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
But that's that's all good, man. This is territory that hasn't been properly mined, right?
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
like I had a werewolf book that I wanted to do, like maybe this year, called Southpaw, about a Rougarou, which is
Oh, nice.
a werewolf that is native to Louisiana.
We got one of those,
And
by the way.
what was that?
We got one of those in the Cryptonos.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, but I mean, the one that I was gonna do, and I'll do it. I'll do it someday. But it's just going down. I just because I have like at least 5 or 6 projects I want to do,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
so that was gonna be the next one. And I saw all of these other werewolf books. I'm like, okay, let's move this one to the back, to the end
Yeah.
of the queue.
That's
And,
what sucks, man. Like I hate that because you have all these ideas, you have all these projects that you want to do, and then someone else comes in, or a bunch of them come out, and I'm like, oh, dude, come on. The one project that slipped by me, or rather that I never really followed up on, was I had this project since high school, and I still have the notes for it and everything, but I gotta let it go now. It was Jack the Ripper as a vampire hunter, and the origin of Jack the Ripper as to why he became Jack the Ripper was because he fought Dracula, and the madness caused him to become like this monster, and that was the story that I had written back in high school, and I still have the notebooks. And then I saw that they Mandy and I'm not sure who else were
Peter.
promoting that book, the
Somebody.
Jack the Ripper Vampire Hunter. Yeah. So I'm like,
yeah.
oh well.
Dude,
No, it's parallel development. It does happen. I know somebody
Mhm.
that was like a script writer a script reader for Hollywood, right? Where it's
Mhm.
just like the suits and shit. They can't sort through these mountains of scripts that come to them every day, so they have people that they pay to like read through them and like sort the wheat from the chaff and let them know what's worth reading. And this person said that in 1 week they read 3 scripts that all had scenes that took place on southwestern rattlesnake farms.
What? Okay. That's interesting.
Southwestern rattlesnake farms.
Jesus.
Right? It's just like,
That's-
what are the odds? But it happens. So
That's very niche right there,
yeah,
man.
no
Like,
shit. Right? But I mean, it gives you an idea of how that shit works.
That-
Um,
and that's why we decided to launch Under the Border, because CG wasn't that big into zombies. So I said, yeah, let's throw this at them, because it's already done. It's a good story. It's a neat concept, and I think only Adam Post had his College of the Dead, and
Yeah.
the UK guys, Doomsday Kingdom, had theirs. So
Right.
we were like, yeah, okay, we're gonna be a little bit behind, but ours has an interesting take, no? Because that's why,
oh,
yeah, that's why we decided to launch. Because if you feel that your premise is different from others, and
and it is.
it is, so yeah, we decided to let's go with it, let's do it.
Yeah. Is the second run campaign for that still running, or has that closed?
No, that closed on Sunday. Yeah,
Oh,
With-
All right, hold on.
yeah,
a sec.
with 61 backers, so it was pretty cool.
All right. Everybody that didn't take advantage of that second chance campaign for Undead Border, you snoozed and you losed.
Exactly.
Exactly. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Don't come crying to me. Don't come crying to me looking to borrow my copy, because that shit ain't happening.
Yeah. I mean, well, it is. I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, we're still unknown. It's a black and white book. I know people don't like black and white, but it's all a part of the
It's different
design.
now,
Yeah,
though.
everything has a
different now.
purpose. Yeah,
When I started like with Six Gun Gorilla, I wanted badly to do that as a black and white comic. But at
Mhm.
that time, this was like 6 years ago, you couldn't sell a black and white comic.
yeah,
But nowadays, I think it's because of manga. I think that most of the people who read manga only read manga, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
But I do think that there's enough people out there that just love comic books, dope comic
Yeah.
books, no matter where they come from. And so now they're more open to black and white. And
We
when
need
you
more
look,
people like that in CG.
yeah, no shit. No, I like Joe Ball with Death. I was
Oh,
yeah.
I was relieved to see he has a black and white edition. Right? He has a color edition, black and white edition. Guess which one I'm getting?
Black
Black and white.
Yeah,
Yeah, no shit, because it's beautiful, right? And not that the colors look bad or anything like that. It was actually a really good job of coloring stuff that shouldn't have been colored.
Mm-hmm.
But do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is amazing looking book. I hope people check it out. There's a trailer. Do you want to play a trailer real quick?
Sure, man. Just before we go to the trailer, the other perk you're gonna receive is the Monster Moments scrapbook featuring. We had a little flub because we were offering Polaroids with the initial campaign, but we
Mhm.
found out that the prices were like extraordinarily.
Prohibitive.
Yeah, dude. So shit, we scrapped the idea. All the first 30-day backers are gonna get their Polaroids, but after that we're gonna do a collection, a printed collection, so everybody's not going to
Mhm.
miss out on that perk. So everybody's gonna get this little book now. So it's I think it's gonna be better, man. So it's gonna have more content on it, more behind the scenes stuff, and also the digital files, the audio files.
The
Man,
MP3s.
dude,
Yeah.
we haven't promoted this in a long time, right, Ray?
I know we've been out of it for a bit. We're doing Undead Borders, so
Yeah,
so it's gonna kind of be like if you remember Evil Dead 2, when he goes into the house and he finds an Necronomicon, he plays the recorder, and there's all this weirdness going on. Explain to him why you should not be reading that book. That's pretty much what those MP3s are going to be. They're kind of I guess the sightings of the cryptids and the tulpas that match the Polaroids, the drawings. And it explains a little bit of what you're looking at, and also a little bit of backstory as to what that monster is and what they're capable of, and why you should stay the hell away from them. So
Yeah.
That's a genius idea, man. I love that. That sounds like an old radio show.
yeah,
yeah, exactly.
Like a
Like,
coast to coast. Shit
there
like
you
that.
go.
Yeah,
So
those
yeah.
can be, just plain audio can be a very
Yeah, dude.
spooky medium.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, if I guess if you're listening to that, it means that that it's your ass anyway, right? That you're pretty much fucked.
Pretty much. Oh man.
Let me set up
man.
the.
Let's get this out.
Yeah, I hope I have the audio on, so just let me know.
Yeah, of course.
In the dark recesses of
Yeah, okay.
cyberspace exists nightmare fuel we take as fallacy, but these tales and images are cursed through the power of belief. Tulpas, sentient thought forms residing in between the abyss of life and death. Their endgame is to destroy the only reality they know, ours. Only darkness can vanquish darkness, more rapid than the radiance of light. Enter the Cryptonos, mythical beasts of unearthly abilities whose existence has been criminalized by humanity. The first incursion of otherworldly evil. A secret war of monsters is about to begin.
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah! Oh, I'm so ready for this. It's not funny. So yeah, folks, go out and back this. It's I can't wait for this, man. It's and I also love the concept of secret wars. Not Marvel not Marvel superhero secret wars. Those are whack. But I'm trying to remember the name of the writer. The guy who wrote Highlander. He also wrote The Prophecy. Highlander being, of course, a secret war between immortals, and The Prophecy being about a secret war between angels over the fate of humans.
That's
and
right.
I just love that idea of these incredibly important battles that are taking place, that are deciding the fate of millions, maybe even the entire world, but they're not happening out on some big battlefield. They're happening in like some dark alley somewhere, or in a forest, or there's like no witnesses. I just
Exactly.
yeah, very
That's
cool.
that's I mean, that's one of the ideas that started me on the path to write this, because there's about I think it's about 7 hours away from here. There's this place called Dulce in New Mexico, and I don't know if you heard of this or not, but back in the 70s, there was a secret military base inside this mesa, and the base itself housed experiments that aliens were doing on humans, and the U.S. military and the U.S. government had brokered a deal with these aliens, these Greys, in order for them to conduct these experiments in the bowels of this military installation inside the mesa. Something happened in the 70s. Something happened where there was a firefight between the U.S. military and these Greys, and people were getting their arms disintegrated and their faces blown off, and they were shooting Greys and back and forth, and all this other stuff happened. And if you go on YouTube, I don't know if the videos are still up or not, but there was testimonials of what happened. These guys, my buddy lost his arm and I had to pull him out, and these stupid Greys, and I shot him in the face, and it was like, wow, did that really happen? What the hell, happened? And that got my gears going. I'm like, this place still exists. This place is still out there. So what exactly ended up happening? And that's where the Kryptonals come in. So I give kind of like a backstory as to what happened in the 70s when this firefight erupted on that base.
I wonder what started it. Well, did somebody step on somebody's like Pumas or something like that? Or somebody somebody else's sneaker?
It's very interesting because the guy that has this testimony, his name is Phil Schneider, which he got suicided later on.
Oh God! Sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
air quotes suicided.
We use the term Epsteined these days.
Epstein.
There you go. He got Epsteined.
Yeah, he was in charge of building tunnels, like burrowing into the earth, so they could like build hangars and shit like that, and what have you. So they were just doing their job, man. They had like this fucking drill, and they broke a wall out of nowhere, and Greys came out of it, and it smelled foul, man, like sulfur and something like that. So these guys were accompanied by army men or Marines or some shit like that, like Delta Force, and a firefight broke out because they were like, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here!" And oh shit, and everybody started shooting around, and I think Phil got a few of them, but he got like his hand. They disintegrated his fingers, and
oh God,
yeah. So it was you can see the video. It's an old VHS tape, like from the early '90s, and it's all grainy and shit. It adds that creepiness to it. So.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to. Yeah, shoot me a link for that one of these days, man. That sounds rad. Because the thing is, it's like when you explore these things, even if if it turns out to be total bullshit, it gets the wheels turning in your head.
Oh yeah.
Right? You can't help but like start to run with it. Now, we were talking about dog-headed men before. There's a picture I want to share right here if I don't boomer this up.
Careful.
I know, I'm trying. I'm trying, bro. Let's see. Why can't I? It's not. Oh, here we go. Now, this is a piece of Byzantine art, right? Now, in the middle,
Yeah.
you have my man Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
right? And here,
Jesus.
notice anything special about these guys?
Oh shit, those are cool masks.
Those are cool.
Those aren't masks. Those aren't masks. These are cynocephali, also known as dogs' heads. See, back in the in ye olden days, people really believed that there were these races of creatures
Mhm.
called the monstrous races, and that if you hopped on a boat and you went to India or some other far off place, you would run into these people, right?
Mhm.
Now, there's a dog's head right there, one of the cynocephali. Here you've got a guy who doesn't have a head but has a face on his chest. Here you have a two-headed child. Here you have a cyclops. And here you have a guy with one big old foot. And like the way that this one is, the one with the foot is usually interpreted is that somebody went overseas or went to India someplace and saw like an Indian fakir or contortionist who put his leg behind his head, and then of course it turns into a game of telephone, and you end up with that.
Oh, okay.
But the it said, it says in the Bible that that the gospel was for everybody and to go out and give it to everybody. And then of course there are years of Christ's life that weren't accounted for. So the speculation was that he went to these monstrous people and met them and loved on them, and they accepted him. Oh, well, the cynocephali, the dog's heads, there was one named Reprobus. And after meeting Christ, he went on a diet, stopped eating human flesh, which normally was a staple for the dog's heads, and he became human and changed, and his name was changed to Saint Christopher.
Oh wow.
Dude.
Yeah, and Saint Christopher is also often represented as a different type of monster, as a giant with a little child on his shoulder. The little child, of course, being Christ. But oh god, I am such a sucker for this stuff. And
That's cool.
those depictions like this, they're not that rare. You actually see them pretty frequently in Byzantine art. Let me see if I can find another.
But is it like, was there like a explanation to it, like scientifically, like you said with the contortionist?
Oh no, that's a speculation. That's a
Yeah,
speculation.
okay.
And the same thing with the dog heads, the cynocephali.
Yeah.
I didn't know about this, man. That's cool.
I mean, I would think that they would be more feral. You know what I mean? But they're wearing like clothes and
Armor and
they have
shit.
weapons and all this other stuff. And that's what's interesting about it. Because if they're cannibals, then wouldn't they be a little bit more feral than that? And not wear like fancy stuff, fancy lad stuff. I don't know.
Well, but here's the thing: if they're eating people, they're not cannibals because they're not human.
That's true.
Well, that's true.
Right? But yeah, no, I have always, like, whenever I come across anything like this, it just gets the my inner monster geek just going completely.
What do you think about
apeshit.
the whole the Nephilim thing, as far as like Goliath, especially since we're touching on the Bible? How Goliath was one of the last Nephilim, and that were they spread their seed, and that supposedly, and this is a little bit of a stretch, but that supposedly like Bigfoot and the dogmen that are witnessed, in the U.S. and other parts of the world are offspring of this, or some sort of lineage to the Nephilim.
Of the Nephilim? That's interesting. I know a lot about the Nephilim from reading the Book of Enoch. It's like part of the Apocrypha. Because the Nephilim are only referred to in one short passage, small passage in Genesis, right? The
Yes.
Nephilim were on the earth in those days too. Heroes of old, men of renown. And hero didn't necessarily mean a good thing. A hero could be not just somebody that was like famous. It could be somebody who was infamous too. It could be like a pirate or something. And I forget how many cubits tall I forget how many cubits tall they were, but then I also forget what the measurement is for a cubit. But they were supposedly huge. The offspring of descended, not fallen angels and human females. And but yeah, the Bigfoot connection, I never even heard that before, because I mean, the Nephilim were supposed to be impressive. They were half angel,
Mhm.
right? So how
Exactly.
did they turn into like these ape men?
There was a few podcasts that I was on, and the same question was presented to me, and I had done some research before as far as that's concerned. And the leading, I guess, theory is that the Nephilim not only had sex or relations with women, but they had relations with beasts and all these other animals and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
And that's how they got the Bigfoot, and that's how it arose, I guess you could say. And I was always fascinated by that, like, because of course, if you start digging into the Bigfoot lore and everything, they have these supernatural powers, and where would that come from if not some sort of, you know, godly type power, like an angelic type power, like they can disappear, they can go through dimensions, you know, they cause this fear. And I remember that in the Bible, whenever a human was in the presence of something angelic, they always had to like lower their heads and look away because they couldn't observe it because of the power that it just radiated. And
Right.
I think that's part of it as well. And I started doing the research on it, and it gets really deep, and I'm like, holy crap, man! Like maybe that is one of the theories, or the leading theories of as to how Bigfoot came about.
Right. It's like the poet Rainer Maria Rilke said, "Every angel is terrifying."
Yes, I love that. I love that that quote. You know, if you want to
Yeah.
experience true horror, is if witnessing absolute beauty or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be perfectly honest, some of the descriptions of angels in the Bible are pretty horrifying. Some of them really are kind of scary. You know, like the seraphim, who have 6 wings, and they 2 of the wings are used to cover their faces, and the lower wings are to cover their legs, and the back wings are the middle wings are for flying. Now, if I saw that coming at me, I would shit myself real quick.
Exactly, man. Especially if it's like what 12, 15 feet tall and stuff. So
And also, you'll notice that angels in the Bible, what's the first thing they always say when they show up and they're not there to whip somebody's ass?
Brian,
Don't be afraid.
exactly.
I think Bonds is in the green room.
Who is he?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to let him in.
Got you.
Because he's, you know, I mean, first of all, he's late as fuck. Second, it's just Vaughn. All right, I'll let him in. Hey, dude, what's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Good to see you, man.
There he is.
Oh, how you been? It's been too long. I feel
Good,
like
busy,
yeah,
busy,
good,
busy, making comics.
Hell
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Can't
And
wait.
everybody, the great Von Klaus is in the
Stop.
hizzy, and
go on.
my goodness, man, Monster MD, a triumph.
Yes.
Over
I-
what though? Boredom. We beat boredom. We no, actually, you know, you guys are right. Like, it's my first book, and it did really well. I'm
And
proud. I'm really
and-
proud. My team did great. Yeah.
Awesome.
And it's really friggin' good.
Go
Oh,
on.
what? You don't like it?
So
Take
modest.
the
Take
compliment. Take it.
Thank
no,
you.
no, he's like
Thank
me.
you.
He's like me. Like, no. I can't take compliments either. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I guarantee you what's going on with Vaughn. Vaughn is looking at the book and he's seeing the flaws.
Yeah.
And he's thinking, the pacing could have been maybe a little bit better here.
Well,
Whatever.
it's not even about flaws as much as like look at where I am now with my new scripts that I have yet to unleash.
Oh,
on you.
sure.
And then
Oh,
you-
God.
every artist looks back and goes, "Oh, well, look, that's
Cringe.
where I was then." And like, I'm glad I've moved past that. Like, I'm glad I've gotten better since then. Type thing. You know what I mean? Like,
It's still an impressive debut, though. It's still a very
Thanks.
impressive debut. I keep wanting to give away a spoiler from that. It's a scene that I think is so remarkable and beautiful, really.
why
That
don't we
is-
just talk about it? Like, it's been out for a while.
Okay. There's this. There's this scene where Heidi has been mortally wounded.
What?
Yes, she's been mortally wounded. Spoiler alert! She's been wounded, and I'm sorry. What's his name?
Dr. Wyatt Black.
Dr. Wyatt Black. Dr. Black needs to sew her back together, but she's invisible, which means her organs could be hanging out, and there's like nothing he can do. So he sprays her down with this luminescent spray, so that he can work on her. And after he sprays her down, there's this lovely shot of where he's looking at her and he's seeing her for the first time, and she's beautiful, and she's radiant, and she's glowing, and he patches her back together. And there's this tender moment, and they share an embrace and a kiss. And I especially love how that page ends, where suddenly the luminescent spray wears off, and he's just going.
It's in the air.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you. You know, that
Salutations,
was
dude.
I had made Monster MD with a different artist, and it was about a 75 pager then. That scene wasn't in there. And when I was rethinking it, I was like, I have to do this scene. Like, and it has to be done right. I need to, spend as much as many pages as I need to do it justice and have the big shots and just show, it became a metaphor for how he just sees Heidi in general, like her energy and why they gravitate towards each other. And it's a beautiful, very good visual for that too. Just getting to see her glowing,
Yeah.
It was fun. It was fun getting to reveal her to the world that way before I revealed her in the bonus story where we go into her backstory.
Yes, which is wonderful too.
Yeah, I just did it all for this campaign. You know what I mean? I didn't hold on to anything. I just
Oh, dude.
You want to see Heidi? Okay, I could have held on to it forever. You know what I mean?
Well, it's kind of like my first Six Gun campaign. I was just like, afterwards I was like, shit, I should have just done a campaign for issue 1, then for issue 2, and then for issue 3. But I wanted to hit people with my best shot.
Right.
So I came out with the trade paperback with the first 6 issues, because it's just like you want to grab them.
Yep.
And you, sir, without a doubt, grabbed people, because I don't know a single person that's read that book that doesn't love it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Gosh, thank you. Awesome. This is good. This is good. We can build on this. Yeah.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
I have to.
Absolutely.
Because when I made it, I was working a 9 to 5. Now I'm there's no more 9 to 5 net for me. Like, I'm in it to win it. So we'll see if I fall flat on my face. I don't care if I do. I'm doing what I love. And I'm loving my writing, my scripts, the character designs. That's kind of part of my thing. My work is, it's got to be more than just the script. I got to do the character designs. I'm a little controlling like that. And I got to, I don't know. I just want this certain look that I know I need to achieve for it to be what I want out of a comic, and I'm demanding about it. I really am. And so, yeah, I'm just loving my work. I'm loving all my designs. I feel like I'm doing some of my best stuff. So, yeah, I'm excited to see where the future holds,
Oh, dude.
Thanks for having me on, by the way, man.
Oh, of course, dude. Of course. And how lucky are we to be making comic books?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, God. It's whenever you get, I say this to my fellow creators, whenever you get down, because sometimes it does turn into a little bit of a grind, or maybe you start doubting yourself, or you're thinking, well, maybe this is just shit, et cetera, et cetera. That's when you smack yourself upside the head and just go, I'm making comic books.
Yeah.
You know, it's supposed to be fun. It's literally like our job. Like we have to have fun, or we're not doing it right.
Exactly.
That's right.
Which
Another
is a
thing,
beautiful
though,
thing.
it's true. That's why, like, I don't know about you guys, but like, are you guys good with kids? Like, usually when you know how to
Yeah.
have fun and relax, like, you know how to, like, the kids gravitate towards me everywhere I
Yeah,
go
me too.
at the parties. Everyone's kids try to hang out with
Yeah,
me.
me too.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's
dude,
like,
dude.
what the hell? I
There's
know
the
I'm fun
neighborhood
though, you know.
kids.
Like I play darts,
exa-
guns with them, and so you know.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I'm the same way. Like there's like neighborhood kids, man. Like
Yeah.
are like when I was working a day job, like I'd be late sometimes because these little fuckers would come out and grab me and go and put me in jail. Like, we got you. You're going in jail. Here, now stay there. And I'd be like,
Dude, you were in kid court. That sounds like a bitch.
no, well, it's I
Those
can't
squeaky
say,
hammers.
dude. It's a good thing I'm not a hammer because I cannot say no to those little fuckers.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. They're too damn cute.
Yeah.
know?
You want to be
They're
the
too damn
friend,
cute.
you
They're
know.
too damn precious.
But like that sense of play we have that they gravitate towards, like that is why we make comics. A part of it is my theory. It's
Exactly.
part of it. But
Yeah.
with the personality for that, you know.
Yes, because we're not childish, we're childlike. And I think every artist should, needs that.
Yeah.
Especially if you're making comic books.
Man.
Let's face it.
Yeah.
Do you want to pimp the campaign for Monster MD real quick?
Yeah. So
That's still running, right?
we're finishing it up tonight. This thing is
Demand.
we're finishing up finally. God, it's been forever.
Oh, you're finishing you're finishing tonight?
Yeah. It's closing
Last
down
chance.
Tonight. Yep.
Last
this is
chance,
it.
mofos.
It's
Let
about
me,
time.
Can you bring up the
It's been up
campaign
forever.
page real quick? I'm kind of boomering it with the
Oh, me? Yeah.
with the controls.
Yeah, sure, man.
Only if it's not a bother.
Nay, sir.
We were just taking a
It's-
look. We were just taking a look at the monstrous races.
Oh,
Yes.
I love this print, man. This stuff's
Yeah, it's
great.
fucking badass.
Isn't that great?
Oh
and
yeah.
then before that, I was sharing this one of my man Jesus cold chillin'
Chewy.
with
With his fox army.
well,
I hate foxes.
Cynocephali dogs' heads.
Mhm.
Yeah, and telling the story of Reprobus, also known as Saint Christopher. That's why Saint Christopher is sometimes referred to as the werewolf saint.
Cool.
Let's see.
I have to remember that for scripts.
No,
No, I think Brian called it, man.
Yeah, I think Brian's got it.
Damn it.
No, I mean, I've always wanted to do something with the Cynocephali. Maybe one of these days I will.
It's payback for all the work.
One of these days. All right, Monster MD. Look at this. What is that? 6.5 hours left. Up 6:40.
Down.
Elevator pitch.
Ding, ding.
Hell yeah.
What is it like to be a doctor at the local monsters? Well, you get almost eaten every other Tuesday. It can kind of suck, and Dr. Wyatt Black doesn't know if he has what it takes anymore. He wants out. Luckily, he's got this boisterous, awesome surgical assistant, Heidi, the invisible lady who helps him through things. Yeah, hotter than you could imagine. Under those scrubs, those tight, cute little scrubs. So yeah, they get into these kind of insane adventures, and you find out that he has an arm that was given to him so that he can continue to do his work and help monsters. And you find out the story about that, and you find out why he kind of wants out, what he's kind of afraid of, and how he has to kind of overcome it, and kind of decide whether or not he's going to really keep doing this. It's one of those heroes like losing, doubting themselves moments.
Yeah.
Classic stuff in a lot of ways, but in a lot of ways, this is also like a lot of nods to a lot of horror and a fun way. You'll see a lot of those visuals in some of our little montage-y stuff, but yeah, I don't know. It's done really well so far. The reviews have been great.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm really stoked about that, and I feel like I have even better writing ahead of me. So like, I'm just excited to move on from this and just try to pump out more books faster and do, keep quality like this. Other types of stories, though, but still like the same, artfulness, spirit, intensity, good writing, polished characters, engaging story. Hopefully, giving it my all, man. So,
hell yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Well, you've shown that you're good at this, and you're only going to get better.
Oh yeah.
Where are you, Brian? The fuck?
Oh, I just went to try and find my Monster MD merch, patches and all that crap, and I also wanted to pimp Undead Border, but of course, people snoozed on that one and they lost.
It'll be offered again in the omnibus edition or whatever.
Yeah, and the fucking 500-page.
There you go.
Or something like that.
There you go. Badass patch. I'm the kind of guy too. Like, where's my button? I know there's a button that
I feel like
came with this
the
too.
way I make my merc, it's like if you were to wear all of it, people would just think you were in some evil goth gang. So,
Nice.
like that's what you're gonna look like if you're a Vaughn fan. I hope you're ready to be in my goth gang, everybody.
Yeah, or if you show up at a show, people are gonna think that it's a that it's a band.
Yeah. That's kind of that's definitely like my look too. It's got kind of a rock and roll kind of.
Yeah, it does.
To
It absolutely does.
It's more of my nostalgia for 80s stuff too, and just love of music.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Misfits, Cramps,
Yeah.
all those great old punk bands.
Well, yeah.
So
definitely.
So people, don't fucking snooze on this. You got 6 hours left, and you're gonna feel like a jabroni if you're like the only one that doesn't have a copy of this, because everybody's got a copy of this. And because I know you went through some shit over how
I was in the
long
shit.
this took, right?
Huh?
And
Yeah.
I kept saying, like, hey man, we'd rather have it awesome than have it fast. And so you delivered like an extra thick book, right? Because
114 pages. Yeah.
Right? And then
I like that.
this beautiful little scrapbook.
Yeah, the sketchbook came out awesome, man.
The sketchbook came out awesome.
I love it. Yeah, you get to see a lot of like my process and stuff. That's part of why I'm kind of excited to do a Substack, so I can like show like my behind the scenes. Like, so it's like being able to look in that sketchbook, but just all the time. You know what I mean? Like as new stuff comes out.
Substack is the future for sure.
Maybe I have no expectations. We'll see.
No, I know.
I'm like that. I'm like, yeah.
Well, I saw Facebook Facebook ad the other day that was calling for like a FCC to be created, or for the FCC to get on the internet and start censoring it, because it's like Facebook is like, okay, well, the government came to us and said either you censor yourselves or we'll censor you. So now that we have to be censored, well, we don't want people to be able to like jump to another platform.
Right.
Right. So censor the whole internet. I was just like, God damn, this is a commercial.
Wow, that's some yeah, okay.
Yeah. Because that's the thing.
Evil.
Because that's the thing. It's like right. It's like
Censor us, we censor the world.
Well, all that shit, all those algorithms and crap that they built for China. Surprise! They bring that crap home.
Creepy.
Yeah,
creepy. A creepy monster called Facebook that has like a weird book face that flips through pages and knows everyone's like data and info, knows where you live, knows what you like.
We were talking about
comes to kill you in the night.
Huh? We were talking about tulpas before. I think that Mark Zuckerberg might be one of those.
Oh shit!
No shit. He has those soulless eyes, man. You never know.
Those soulless eyes. It's just like
reptilian.
Hey, no, you still have a brightness to your eyes right there, Brian. You're good.
You still have a spark.
Yeah, his are more dead and doll-like.
Processing.
Isn't there a rumor that he died or some shit like that? And
Here we go.
That he's like that he's an
God.
animatronic.
It's a it's a fucking android. and shit.
Well, Marcel Marceau. This is a total non sequitur. Marcel Marceau, the famous mime, he did a movie called what the fuck is it called? He did it with William Castle. Where he plays an old man that is like murdered by some bikers, but then he's controlled by a remote control by a guy who's also played by Marcel Marceau. And so Marceau is playing this corpse that's walking around, kind of robotic. It's Shanks. Shanks is the name of it. It's it's super obscure. Anyway, gentlemen, I wanted to get your opinion on something. Okay, now brace yourselves. Cute or creepy?
Oh shit!
I don't know.
Where's my flamethrower, guys?
Oh, I mean, it's creepy. I'm gonna start with creepy, but if like it were to take a milk bone from my hand, I would probably be like, you're cute, you little bugger.
You little rascal, come over here.
I think they're adorable. I think they're cutest. I think the cutest hell.
Okay.
There's this woman
Like,
who makes them by hand.
I was gonna say, like, what Etsy shop is this shit on?
Oh, she's got like if you want one of these, you're gonna get put on like I think like a 2-year waiting list.
Wow.
And she makes each and every one of these by hand. These aren't like something that came out of like
places the hair and stuff and like does some
every
techniques.
single strand.
Yeah,
every
it's
single
so
strand.
crazy.
I still don't understand putting clothes on dogs. I mean, they already have fur. Like, why would you?
Because it looks cute. That's why. Because it looks cute. I love when it's raining. I love when it's raining and I see people walking their dogs and they got like the little like rain slickers and sometimes they have like the little rain
what
hats
are these?
and shit.
What are these bizarre monstrosities called? Like, what's her cute marketable name?
Fur babies, no?
Fur babies?
You know, I don't know. I know I've got her website somewhere.
Where babies?
Where babies?
There you go.
This one.
That works. Oh God! That is not mine. You cannot come home with me.
You are not the father of that.
Not
shit.
cute,
Man. That baby looks like you got the
treasure
poops.
troll banged a werewolf, man.
There you go.
Yeah, it looks like somebody like you got busy with this chick.
I don't
There you
know. Oh,
go.
I saw that movie.
That was fun, I thought. I mean, it wasn't great. I can't say
it wasn't great.
I can't say it's
But
good.
the makeup was cool.
The makeup was fucking awesome.
Yeah, the makeup was cool.
It was great. It was great seeing that kind of
Look at those nips.
practical effects makeup.
Mhm.
Tell me she's got multiple nips going down her body.
That would be freaky. But you see, that's also an interesting concept because that's the thing about monsters too. About modern monsters is that they can actually be beautiful.
Yeah.
Monsters in the past, they were always like the original monsters from like way back in the day, like medieval times. The monsters were something that was out there, right? And they could be as close as the tree line, as close as the forest. And you know, as long as you were in the village, you were in the city, nothing was going to come in and get you. But if you went out into the forest, you might run into a dragon or a manticore or something else that just wasn't very nice. Mm-hmm. And that might decide to like turn you into a chew toy.
Oh yeah.
True.
And so of course, you know, then you had here, you know, and then so you have the monster out there, then you have the hero who comes in, sometimes a member of the community who then goes out into the forest, or sometimes in like in Beowulf, you know, a hero who comes from outside to fight the monster. Beowulf, of course, you've got ogres and a dragon, right? Which is when it comes to, I don't know if you guys have heard of the term monstology, but it's a thing. It's an actual academic discipline When
Mhm.
I was considering going back to school for my master's degree in English literature, I was thinking about possibly majoring or focusing my studies on monstology.
That's interesting.
It's a field that was created that's generally credited to J.R.R. Tolkien. He was the first guy that was teaching Beowulf to a class and was like, okay, wait a second. We're always looking at Beowulf. Well, what about Grendel?
Mhm.
Right? And
Mhm.
there's a really great novel. I highly recommend it. That's by, oh God, how can I forget his name right now? Oh, that's right, because I'm put on the spot. It's by I want to say John Gardner. John Gardner.
Mhm.
I really highly recommend it. It's basically Beowulf from the point of view of Grendel. And
I remember when that
it's
came out. Yeah.
it's so
Yeah.
good. It's
Grendel.
so
It's
good.
just called Grendel, right?
It's just called Grendel. And then
Yeah.
there was an animated version that was made in the 70s called Grendel, 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 but it's a piece of shit, so I can't
I've never
really
heard.
can't really recommend that one.
Grendel cubes. Well, that's cool, man. It's setting up, ever since Beowulf is kind of like the original hero story, right? It's set up
Yep.
like what we know of dragons and stuff. So yeah, that's cool when people got into Grendel. What was Grendel's take on things?
It was basically a story of misanthropy. That would be the best way that I could describe it.
Mhm.
I mean, that's the thing about the modern monster. In the modern world, the monster isn't something out there; it's in here,
Mhm.
right? Dr. Jekyll and Mr.
Exactly.
Hyde, the Wolfman, and David Cronenberg's stories. It's your own
Mhm.
body. That's the monster. That's turning you into a monster, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm sorry. What was your question again? Also, dude,
Well,
I
was just
I-
curious. Like, I always wanted to read that book, but I never
Yeah.
got to. And I was always wondered what Grendel's take was like.
Oh,
from his
okay, yeah,
point of view.
that's right. Sorry, I was rambling.
No, it's cool.
I smoke a lot of weed. So, what
Attaboy.
it's very about misanthropy. It's about this guy that's an outsider. He doesn't get along with the humans because every time the humans see him, they're awful to him. He'd like to be friends
Mhm.
with the humans.
Yeah.
He would love to, but they treat him like shit.
Yeah.
So he starts treating them like shit. And he goes to the dragon at one point and asks him for. That's a really great chapter. He goes to the dragon and starts asking him for advice. And the dragon is very, very highborn, very regal, very lordly, until it looks like Grendel's going to touch a piece of gold. And he's like, "Leave my gold alone." Right? Because what happens in that story is there's a guy who steals one little golden cup.
Uh-huh.
And then
I remember that. Yeah.
Right? And then the dragon is like, "Fuck all y'all."
Yeah.
So yeah, he's just like totally cool, and very, very, very much in possession of himself until you mess with this gold.
Touch.
Yeah,
That's cool.
it's yeah. You can find it on Amazon, I'm sure, cheap. It's a relatively short novel too. I can guarantee you this though, you'll never forget it. Once you've read it, you will never forget that novel. It's it's remarkable stuff. I wasn't really crazy about the animated Beowulf movie. Although the Grendel that they created was really pretty horrifying.
Mhm.
Okay.
Did you like the 13th Warrior? Their take on the Grendel?
Oh yeah, I like the novel that was based on.
Yeah,
which is
that's what I meant.
Yeah, Eaters of the Dead.
Yes, Eaters of the Dead.
What frustrated me about the movie was that they didn't seem to trust the intelligence of the audience.
Mhm.
And I think that's a big mistake that that filmmakers make and that authors make and that comic book creators can make, where they're just like, oh, they're not going to get this, right? And I think they were thinking, if we really stress that this is basically Beowulf, the true story,
Mhm.
that people are going to be confused, it's going to go over their head, when really they could have kept all that stuff in there, and maybe it would have gone over a lot of people's heads, but it wouldn't have damaged the movie, right? Like,
Yeah.
because I remember when I was reading the novel, I was like, okay, there's this guy Bullywife, like that sounds kind of
Mhm.
familiar, and then there's the Wendell. I'm like,
Wendell.
wait a second. And then when they nail that arm above the doorway, boom, 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 I was like, fuck! This is Beowulf, the true story. This is awesome. And the movie I do recommend. It's aged very well. It's just a lot of fun. It's just also in the movie they seem more like cavemen or
Yeah.
like troglodytes,
Like
whereas in the
Neanderthal or
novel
something.
they're very clearly the last tribe of Neanderthals.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic! I love that. Absolutely.
They should have been a little bit more clear on that in the movie. I think. Like,
Yeah.
come on, like
That's-
you're saying, they didn't believe in the intelligence of the audience, and they
Right.
just missed an opportunity.
Yeah, they did. But and so when I first saw it, I was a little disappointed. But then I watched it again later when it was on DVD, and I was like, you know what, this is actually kind of a kick-ass movie.
Mm.
It's got a cult following, man. People bring
It
that movie
does.
up more than ever these days to me.
I know.
I'm like, dang, man. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the beauty of home video and DVD and that sort of a thing, is that things get a second chance. It's
Exactly.
like, Big Trouble in Little China was a bomb,
Mhm.
Yeah.
right? Beastmaster was a bomb.
Oh,
And then
man.
these movies go
I
on
love
go on
those movies.
cable. They go on. What was that?
I said I love those movies.
Yeah.
Yes, those are freaking awesome movies, right?
They're
But
still
they didn't-
good.
Fuji's Conquest, man, my God, that was like one of the ones I grew up on, and I just love that movie. The movie, it's the cult following that people remember it by, So
You'd
That-
rent it
I don't
with
know
your
if you-
friends over and over and over again type movies.
Yes, without
Exactly.
a doubt. And so these films that are like John Carpenter's The Thing, bomb. Blade Runner, which came out at the same time, bomb. Right? Horrible reviews. Critics savaged it. Audiences
And yet
ignored
my
it in
dad-
droves.
My dad, who's like a young dude in the 80s, who was totally into like buying all the movies, like he was buying it and being like, hell yeah, Blade Runner. Like he loved, like people loved that movie, man. But like the younger generation. And then you got your stuffy critics of that era going, oh, what is this shit? They don't get it or whatever.
Right.
Happens.
Right. Well, I mean, that's something that, I wonder about myself sometimes. It's like, wait, does this suck or am I just old? Right? But
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about.
Well, it was an
Right?
era where there was such a standard of quality in storytelling and a
Yes.
demand for like new innovations with tech, because the 80s was like a booming time of tech, and like new special
Sure
effects tech
was.
was shooting out of George Lucas's dick on everybody, and everyone
Yeah,
was trying,
man.
and it was like, and so like you could have a great movie, but could still fall through the cracks from all the other good movies that were drawing more people in or whatever.
Right.
I remember. I mean, those were the days where it's like, like good ones would go down in flames too, for sure. But like, I watched Big Trouble in Little China like every day as a kid. Like you keep, that movie like lived
Over and
hell
over
yeah.
and over.
Yeah.
Memorize the
Your
lines,
friends come
man.
over. Your friends come over. You put it on. You all kung fu fight each other, and yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. Start using your mantis on your friend's
Yeah.
tiger style.
But that was a good time for me too, because that's when my parents said, "These are the universal monsters. These are important." I had cool parents. Like they wanted to like teach me about all the stuff they thought was cool growing, as kids. And yeah, man. So it started there, and like I was painting the models soon after, and so yeah,
Oh,
they
the
planted the
Auroras?
monster seed, huh?
The Auroras?
Is
The
that
Aurora
what these
monster
are called? The
models?
old, the classic like Universal
Yeah.
monster. Is that what they're
Yeah,
called?
yeah,
the
yeah.
Auroras?
Like the Wolfman is like this.
I'll get him.
Oh, dude, those are
Nice.
so people. You cannot underestimate the importance of those model kits.
Exactly.
No,
Yeah.
seriously,
Ray-
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ollie.
No, Ray, are you covering your microphone? Because you sound a bit muffled.
Does it
Me?
sound muffled? Hold on. Let me see.
No, yeah, it's good now.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh shit!
Oh
sounds-
wow.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Are
Yep.
those vintage, Juan, or
Yeah, man. I got these as a kid in the 80s, and I
Oh,
painted them,
nice.
and my parents helped me. I was just like a first grader, so.
Nice. Look at that one.
Look at this sweet wolf, man.
Oh, that's a nice paint job too. Yeah, I mean,
My mom was,
Those-
of course, helping. She would like to be very creative too, and get in and try to help.
Yeah.
Like moms do.
yeah.
Those
So
are badass.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're
man. I
they're
love
so
them.
they're so important, like in the
Your
history of
brother
horror.
took the Dracula. I'm kind of pissed. I loved that one.
Oh man, I have my Remco ones. They're up on the shelf though. I have the Phantom and Dracula, and then I have the repros of the ones that Nick. Who was it? The Super 7. They put
Mm.
those out too. The Wolfman and the black Creature of the Black Lagoon. All of
Oh, yeah,
those, man.
Yeah, I got the box set of that, I think, or did I give that to a friend of mine? Because I think I bought those. I bought the big box of the reproductions, and then my best friend had a son, and he got to that age, like about 5 or
Mhm.
so, and I was just like, all right, I got to give these up, so he could paint those with his son.
That's
because
awesome.
he was raising his son right, because non sequitur. This kid, I'd go over to the house, and this is how I learned to appreciate kids. Is when my friends started having kids, right? And I go over to their house, and he would like take a blanket and go like that, and my friend Charles would be like, "Shh, he's being Dracula."
That's awesome.
Right? And then he goes over to like a guitar case, and he pops it open, opens the lid, puts one foot in it, and he says, I go into coffee. I was like, you're done raising your kids right.
Hell yeah, man.
I always see monster movies and horror movies as like sex education, age appropriate.
There you go.
You don't dump
No, I
them in
agree.
you don't dump them in like at the deep end with like Texas Chainsaw Massacre or Cannibal Holocaust or something like
Oh
that,
shit! Cannibal Holocaust.
right? But
Oops.
Fuck me up, man.
Hey,
That fucked
I'm
me
like,
up.
oops. No, my kid is like so into Chucky, and he's 7, but he's been into Chucky since he was 5. He want to dress up like Chucky. He watches the movies by himself, and like he's like, oh, this is the part where Chucky kills him and puts the knife in his hand, and then he stabs him in the face. I'm like, you're awesome. I love you. This is cool.
You're my kid.
You're my kid.
Look, man, kids like their fairy tales to be a little dark.
Oh
right?
yeah.
You look at like the Grimm's fairy tales, the real Grimm's fairy tales, not the bullshit ones, not the Disney ones that like took all the blood and guts
Yeah.
and violence out.
Mhm.
Those are nasty, right? Like in
Oh hell yeah.
in Cinderella, like the evil stepsisters, they can't put their foot in the glass slipper. So they get a carving knife and they start carving off like their toes and parts of their heel and everything,
Yeah.
just so they can fucking right. And then they don't get the prince; they can't fit into the golden slipper. And then they're at the wedding of Cinderella and the prince, and then crows come out of the sky and peck their eyes out.
Dude, my nephew,
Hardcore!
man. My nephew's into creepypasta. He's like
Yeah.
6 years old. He likes all the cartoon cat and the other slide and all that crazy shit out there.
Tom the cat.
Tom the cat, yeah. Oh, one time my brother told me he's into ghost videos, like sightings.
That's cool.
like the dog. No, but the videos where the dog notices something in the room.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Can we watch those videos where dogs look at ghosts? I mean, the fuck?
Yeah, shoot me the links. I'll put that shit on.
Jesus.
Absolutely.
Watch the what is it? The ghosts of I forgot the name of it. The ghosts of Bang. Was it Maine? Something Maine? Oh man.
What is that?
I'm not sure, but I was just thinking, like, before we were talking about tulpas, and we were talking about people's fears made flesh, right?
Yes.
And there's an amazing documentary that is I very, very highly recommend it for anybody that is a horror fan. It's called Wrinkles the Clown.
Oh, I've heard of it. I've been wanting to watch it. I haven't had a chance.
Let me see if I can show that.
I can't remember. I remember what it was called. It's called the Ghosts of Carmel, Maine. It's and
Yes.
I'll let you show your stuff
seen
first
some
before
of
I
it.
get into. Dude,
You see
I
them
live
on,
that shit. I live
yeah.
that shit. So
Oh, really?
I don't even want to talk about it because it gives me the fucking creeps. But like that's where the whole obsession with the paranormal and supernatural stuff happened because of the house that I lived in with my parents when I was a kid. And these things exist. The shadow people exist. They look exactly like the way they look in those videos. If you've seen them, Von Sterry, you know what I'm talking about. And it was like terrifying and interesting and just intriguing at the same time. And my friends would go over to the house and they would freak out because I would tell them like these things exist outside the house too. Like you'll see them walking around in the front yard and they're like, nah, you're full of shit, whatever. And then they'd see them and they're like, I'm never coming to your house at night again. Fuck that shit.
Jesus.
But if you see those videos and you know what I'm talking about, Monster, those things are, fuck, man, those things will mess, especially late at night. If you start watching those things, you start seeing all the shadows move and everything. And
Was it called Ray again?
The Ghosts of Carmel, Maine.
Okay, so I won't sleep tonight.
No, you won't sleep tonight at all. And the way that they move like Venom, dude. They move like the shadow people move like Venom does. And there's one scene where he walks into the room, and apparently this man has been living with these things forever, but he's videotaping them. And he walks into the room, and it's sitting at the edge of the bed, and he looks at it, and it freaks him out, and the thing takes off. The thing takes off and jumps out the window. It jumps out the window, and you see it, and you're like, holy crap, man, like, what the hell? And it's giving me chills right now talking about it.
Oh,
The room is dark.
I think I just shit myself.
Isn't it where they call him Shadow Dude, Ray?
The Shadow Dude, yeah, he calls him Shadow Dude.
Yeah,
Hey, Shadow Dude.
Yeah, Shadow. Yeah, it's Shadow Dude. Yeah, what the?
You know, it's interesting because like ghosts. That I mean, I absolutely believe in ghosts, even though I've never seen one, because I just know too many people who have. Too
Mhm.
many people. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And you'll be amazed that when you let people know that you're just open to the idea, how many people that will be like, oh yeah, and they'll tell you their experience, and it's always the same because they're so matter of fact about it. And this is something also that they're happy to tell people because, well, shit, man. You know, it's like, you know, if it's a sort of thing where if you share it, you know, are people going to think that you're crazy?
No, because everybody has a ghost story.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It just gets a little weird sometimes. Like ghost shows, there's so many of them, and they pump out so many episodes that they're like reaching for content. So like you're starting to see weird shit like ghost rape and shit. Like this old lady getting pinned down and like and they had to like have the soundtrack be like doom 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 like ghost rape.
Well, that's like the
like I
entity.
got ghost raped at the sink, you know, and you're just going, what? Shut up, like stop.
That's like
it,
the
you're
entity.
lonely.
Have you guys
Says
ever
you're
seen that?
divorced.
Oh,
yeah,
dude.
the entities. I've totally made chicks watch that movie with me, and it's awesome. It's got the
Dude, that thing-
suction cup titties like technology to make it look
Oh
like
my
invisible
God.
hands. are
When she's
squeezing
driving the
titties.
car, man. When she's driving the car and it just fucking attacks her, dude. Like, what the fuck, man? Like,
Yeah,
No.
it's
Oh.
that soundtrack. Doom, 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 doom. Rape. Now, that's a ghost rape story I can watch. But like, whenever
Yeah, that
like,
movie's
that
actually
episode
fun.
happened where she was like, "It happened to me," I was like, "Oh, come on." sure that ghost has better things to do. Come on. But like, yeah, it's weird. Some of the stories though, the way people talk about ghosts sometimes. Like when I was in Chicago, these people were like, yeah, the people in the body shop, ironically, they were like, well, they were like, we have a ghost. I'm like, maybe they want a body. And they were like, shut up. And and then they were like, and they were like, the ghost is picking on this new chick at our shop, this black chick. And the chick next to me was like, oh, you think it's a racist ghost? And I was just like she said it like it's a common thing. And I was like, well, I've never heard about a racist ghost. Okay. And then her friend goes, no, like as if like, you know, of course there's racist ghosts, but like this one's not. I'm pretty sure it doesn't discriminate through race. And then she goes, it's because she doesn't believe enough that the ghost is coming after her in the shop. So
What?
like supposedly if you're like, I don't believe in you, that's when the ghost wants to prove itself by like tormenting you and stuff. Really, it's probably people hazing the shit out of a new chick.
that would have been my guess. Okay, I'm boomering this up here. I'm trying to share screen. Your browser has blocked your screen. Click the screen icon in your address bar to allow access.
But I love ghost stories. Like that's like one of my favorite things, man.
Yeah, me too.
Love
Dude,
them.
we should do a whole other show on that because me growing up, it was just nothing but that. I've seen so much crap.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
It's not even funny. I saw La Llorona. I mean, well, not saw, but I experienced La Llorona, and that's what got me like all into this stuff because that's, you know, my earliest childhood memory of something that I just could not explain that was supernatural, paranormal. So
I had heard that you'd had experiences with La Llorona and with the shadow people, and definitely wanted to pick your brain about that stuff. But first, let me see if I can show this clip that y'all shared. Fuck. All right.
It's a very long. It's the Phil Schneider conference, so it's like an hour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Is that the?
Yeah.
All right.
Where he talks about Nightmare Hall and the Battle of Dulce, New Mexico, and shit like that.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm trying to share this Wrinkles the Clown.
Wrinkles the Clown.
Check
that out.
Yeah, it's that's like another thing where it's like I highly recommend it, but I don't know that I want to give it away because it's yeah, I shouldn't yeah, I'm not gonna give it away. But yeah, it's about this clown that had been showing up in this horrifying mask, and then was like putting his number all over the place, and kids could call and talk to him.
Wow.
But then parents discovered that their kids were terrified of this guy, and so they would threaten their children with him. Like, if you don't behave, I'm calling Wrinkles the Clown. You'll look right outside your window. He's gonna be right there. The kids are like, no! And then which is like, okay, is this becoming like a problem now?
Wrinkles the Clown.
Wrinkles the Clown. For real. Vaughn, was there a link that you wanted to share or something?
Oh shit.
No, but I got something kind of badass in today. Speaking of monsters,
ooh, badass. We like badass, and we like monsters.
I love that it came in today too. What a great day it's been as we close out Monster MD. The Book of Werewolves, being an account of a terrible superstition. This is one of the best. It's got unfortunately, it has a little bit of a damaged dust jacket here, but I just wanted a rare old beat up book, and I got it. I checked this book out. Another edition of it from when I was a kid, and studied up on werewolves and got really into them, like as a middle schooler, teenager. And this book's just really special to me. It's bizarre. It's awesome. It looks into real accounts across Europe of werewolfism, which usually turn out to be just people gone mad and going cannibalistic. But what's also cool about it is it has sections on how different cultures, how they believed you turn yourself into a werewolf. And they're kind of ritualistic and have like listings of all the ingredients you need and like the measurements. It's like you could really do these if you wanted to. And they're kind of like sensual and creepy and awesome. So like if you're ever dating some wild chick, maybe go out to the desert and get a fire
for a
going,
werewolves.
Look
get
for
a
wolf
pot
paw
of
print
hallucinogens, and then you get naked and rub yourselves down in the hallucinogens. You
with the
become
witch's
a
salve.
werewolf
Yeah,
and
with the
run
witch's
around.
salve.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. So like this has all that and more, kids. Anyway, so this is about. I'm really happy.
How much did that set you back?
This was only like 20 something, 30 books.
Wow.
Because I've never read that before, and it looks like it needs to be in my occult library.
I'm actually surprised it isn't. Yeah, you need to look this up. I looked on I paid like 20 something, but whoever got this for a steal. It looks like $2 or something. I don't know if you can see that.
Probably a library sale or something.
Yeah, but that's cool. I'm willing to pay that
Yeah.
for this magical piece of coolness. It's just a cool book in general to own too. Even if you're not into monsters, it's a bizarre history in a way too. So it's interesting. This is a 1970s edition, something. Anyway, but it's got cool let me see. It feels like a cool, creepy book that you'd find in like a movie.
Oh man,
Yeah.
yeah.
cool
Those,
wood
those are the books that those are the books
shit
that got
I
me in
like.
trouble, man. That's the stuff.
The best kind.
Oh, you got in trouble
Yeah.
for your parents caught you with them?
No. I mean, my
It's cool.
brother-in-law and my sister were into the occult, and they didn't tell me, and that's why I had like a bunch of shit happen to me and my family and my parents. It just like
that sucks. When did you find
Yeah,
out?
pretty much.
Yeah, it does.
When did
the
you find
the
out?
Llorona experience is based off of that, because I didn't find out till years later that they had been messing around with stuff. And really quickly, just to tell you the story, because I know you wanted to hear it.
Please,
Like
please.
out in the boonies of El Paso, that's where my brother-in-law and my sister lived, and they had converted a garage into their home. The garage was connected to his mom's house, which was her mother-in-law. And when you entered the garage, you had to drive up. You entered the garage, and that was like their house. It was like a shotgun kind of setting. You walked into the living room, and then the kitchen, and then the back room was their bedroom. And they invited me over because my brother-in-law got a satellite dish, and he wanted me to go and experience the Playboy channel. And back in the day, you could only watch it at a certain time of night, right? And so they booked a weekend. My sister went and told my parents that I wanted to go over and watch movies on their satellite. I went over, and we had to wait till midnight. We waited till midnight. He put on the Playboy channel. We started watching it. I passed out. Somewhere along the lines, I think it was maybe like 2 or 3 in the morning, I hear knocking at the door, like pounding on the door. And I get up, I sit up, and I thought it was my brother-in-law had gotten himself locked out or something. Maybe he was outside smoking. I don't know. So I went to the door to open it. And as I'm getting there, the dogs that were in the backyard were going crazy. And as I get to the door, my brother-in-law sits up. He was on the other couch, and I didn't see him. He sits up, and he's like, "Don't open the door. That's La Llorona. If you open the door, she's gonna come in here and take us all." And I'm like, "What?" And right as he said that, the pounding stopped. The dogs were barking, and then they shut up, because as soon as he said that, this thing wailed. I can only describe it as a wail, as a cry. Like I'd never listened or heard something so emotionally devastated, like crying and just despair. But the thing that scared the shit out of me was that it took a breath in between, like it went like that just stayed with me, and I was glued to the door. My hand was like almost on the knob, and my sister comes out of the back room because she had gone to bed earlier with the kids, and she's like, "Oh, it's happening again." I'm like, "What do you mean it's happening again?" That's what messed me up. And they're like, come sit down, come to the sofa, come sit down. But I couldn't, because this thing was still going and the dogs had shut up. So finally I peeled myself away from that door, even though I had that compulsion to open it. I went and I sat down, and after a little while it stopped. And then I can only describe it as sunlight, came in underneath the door through the cracks in the cinder blocks. It came into the room, and it lit everything up like this huge, like just ray of light. And then it kind of dimmed out real weird. And the dog started barking again. And my brother and my brother-in-law and my sister were like, "Okay, just go back to bed." And I'm like, "What do you mean go back to bed? What was that?" And they're like, "We'll talk about it tomorrow. Just go back to sleep." I couldn't go to sleep. I asked them the next day, "What was that?" they wouldn't answer me. They wouldn't tell me, like, don't worry about it, just forget it. And so I went back home, and after that, I think something attached itself to me. I don't know, because that's when my parents were going through like the worst part of their relationship ever. These people should have just separated for the betterment of humankind. That's how bad it was, and it was just horrible. And that's when the shadow people started showing up. I started seeing all this stuff at my house. The negativity was just there, and of course, you know, if it's a negative energy, it draws other negative energy type beings, and that's where these shadow people were showing up. And it wasn't until years later that I asked my brother and now my sister, and they're like, I asked them, what exactly did I see? What did I witness? And they told me it was La Llorona. And I'm like, how the fuck? How? I didn't see it, but I heard it. How can you tell it was La Llorona? And my sister was like, I saw it. And that's when I started remembering, by telling this story, I started remembering all this stuff that they had done when I was growing up. When I would go over to their house, they had, you know, like ritualistic items. They had books. That's the first time that I ever read the Necronomicon, ever experienced anything like that. The Satanic Bible, I read that there with them, but I had blocked it out of my head, I guess. I don't know. But when I started talking about this and reliving it again, that's when I started remembering, like, these guys fucked up our family. They were into some shit, and they didn't tell anybody. They didn't tell us. And it affected my parents because my mom started getting into it too. And that's a whole other story right there. But that's where it was based out of, that whole occultism and the interest in, you know, like doing rituals, using the Ouija board, doing all this craziness. And these are the spoils of that. You know, I get to write comics, I guess. I don't know.
Well, yeah, to exorcise those demons, right?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
like I'm somebody who started studying the occult from a relatively young age because my mother went to the library looking for books for me, and she's like, okay, what does Brian like? He likes vampires, he likes werewolves,
That's
witches,
cool.
right? And so a lot of these books were really old. They're written by, you know, like the Reverend Montague Summers. And
man.
I have, like, you know, I've studied the occult quite a bit, and I've learned enough about it not to fuck with it. That's to say, I've always, like, I'm somebody who knows a lot about the occult. I won't go anywhere near a fucking Ouija board. Keep that shit. Because I'm really superstitious. I'm like, keep that shit away from me.
So anyway,
So I know
I
what
booked
not to
myself
do.
and my girlfriend in this haunted hotel, and I brought my Ouija board.
And some vodka and a bottle of, like, really good
It's
tequila,
a
a large
haunted
caliber
hotel
handgun,
in-
and an orangutan.
And in a place
Sorry.
called it's called the Stone Lion Inn. And
Yvonne, I'm
been on
sorry. I thought you were
episodes of-
joking.
No. It's
Sorry, I
Don
apologize.
doesn't joke.
Please,
That's right.
Please resume and continue.
So I'm so like we're like, I don't know what the hell happened, but the old lady who runs the place, like, she was kind of out of her mind, which is just great. Like, it just makes her more
Of
fun.
course.
Comes out, you know, coming towards us, and like, we don't want her to see that we're bringing a Ouija board to her, like, you know, active place,
man.
right? So like, I'm like, give my girlfriend the, like, hide it immediately, and then that's when she's like, what? And like, doesn't know how to put it in a bag for whatever reason. She just doesn't. So like, it's just sticking out of her bag when the old lady comes up, and she sees it immediately and is like, oh, the Ouija board. Great. You're going to love it. And I was like,
Oh shit!
maybe
I love your
should
claw
try this.
hand. Your claw hand really sells it right there.
Like, I always felt like she had a little bit of a claw at me because she was kind of
It was like
old
the
and
Bela
rickety,
Lugosi,
but
like,
she was
pulling
also
on the air.
Yeah, she was a little creepy like that, like a little, not over the top, but like, yeah, I'm exaggerating because she said
Right.
say weird, crazy things too. But anyway, she told us some interesting ghost stories about the place, and so it was fun overall. You know, I didn't see anything, and I even like got to hang out in the room that had the bizarre big bathroom with a big jacuzzi, and it had old mirrors covering the wall from floor to ceiling. So like, you were surrounded by mirrors. So I was like, if I'm gonna see anything, it's gonna be in here, man.
Yeah, that's true.
So I
That's
just
the-
relaxed in the jacuzzi.
The murder jacuzzi room or whatever.
Right.
Oh, you know that
It
thing's
really.
gonna
Oh god.
It's gonna
you
turn
see the
red by
pictures.
the end of the evening.
Yeah. I was just like, oh man, this is creepy as hell. Anyway, let's relax. That's because he's made for two. So,
There you go.
it was
There
chill.
you
It was a
go.
good night. It was a chill night, actually. But yeah, it was, and we did like a murder mystery thing. It was fun. But yeah, man, we didn't end up doing the Ouija board though. Like after the old lady saw it and said it'll be fun, I was just kind of like,
You killed it. You killed the
I was
moment.
just like, yeah, like you saw it, and like,
Isn't
maybe
it
next
fun?
time.
Oh God, yeah, you couldn't pay me enough money to do that. I mean, I would walk into a haunted house. Absolutely, I feel
Yeah.
very frustrated by the fact that I've never seen a ghost.
Yeah.
And if I had the opportunity, there's no way that I would turn that down. And then, of course, there are different discussions about what ghosts are, what they might be. Are they the souls of the dead? Are they simply
Demons.
some? I'm sorry.
Demons.
Demons,
Oh
yeah.
God, demons.
I'm
or,
curious to buy a cool shadow box, or what is it called? A ghost box?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was-
okay.
I was thinking about getting a ghost box. I think that'd be kind of fun. Those
a
are
ghost
those
box.
complete- Yeah, you know
What
those.
are those?
It flips in live audio through radio stations, and then you'll hear words and communications come up, like that will even say like someone's name in the room or something, like or tell you about how they got hurt, something, like trying to
Really?
communicate.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
one that
little
messed me
ghost
up
box
of
stuff
that,
on YouTube.
How have I not
The
heard
one-
about this? Is this a
the
new
one that
thing?
messed me up of that was the one with Robin Williams. I don't know if you want to Google that or something, but there's.
Oh,
Did you see that one?
no,
That shit was
man.
sad, dude. It was
I
sad.
don't want to
'cause
cry. It's gonna make me
Yeah.
cry.
it started responding like stuff that he would say, I guess, and he was like, yeah, I messed up, I shouldn't have done it. It was fucked up, dude. I was like, no, not Robin, no.
I know he
Oh.
wasn't. He wasn't in his right state of mind. Poor
Damn,
guy.
dude.
Yeah. When that happened, like I co-run a support group for people with depression and bipolar disorder, and that's when, because a lot of discussion of like who can you tell, who can't you tell, right? We're all about confidentiality, and like when that happened, I was like, fuck it, like I'm not going to go around advertising it, but I'm not going to hide it either, because there's people out there who need help and should have reached out and didn't reach out, including my including my homeboy Adrian, who is Adrian Stabar is no longer with us, and I get it's weird when people kill themselves. It's like you can find yourself getting angry at them because it's like, fuck, dude, why didn't you just call me? You could have just
Well,
but yeah,
it's-
they're not in the right state of
and
mind.
in their world, it's like they're in a building that's on fire, and the only way out is through that window.
Yeah.
And they're gonna fall
Yeah.
and die, and they can't handle the flames anymore, man. And it sucks. Like
Yeah.
the guy across the street from me recently, young guy, wife, new Tesla car, shit,
Mhm.
killed himself.
Oh Jesus!
Killed himself, like out of the blue.
Oh, Jesus.
Like no one even seems to know why anymore. It's crazy
Well,
out there.
That's because people are very good at hiding their pain, and it's
Yeah.
been strange since the lockdown, since the economy crashing, the Rona, all that stuff. It's like I'm looking at the people in my support group, and we're holding together like pretty well, as opposed to people that don't have any experience, so they don't with being cooped up, with depression, that sort of thing. So they don't have the toolbox. You know
Well, I
what
mean,
I'm saying?
it also helps that we're Gen Xers.
Yeah, I think
True.
so too.
It's
Yeah,
true.
that absolutely maybe a factor. All right, real quick, what's your favorite type of monster? Type. For me, it's werewolves. I'm a werewolf guy.
I always consider myself a werewolf kid. Yeah.
Ollie, Ray.
Frankenstein.
Well,
Type-
that's a
That's
specific monster.
what is it, like reanimated bodies? What is it? What type is it? Yeah.
Well, that would be so we would say like a flesh golem or something like that. But because my other question was going to be, who's your favorite individual monster? My
Mm.
favorite individual monster is the Frankenstein monster, without
Yeah.
a doubt. It's not even close.
That's
What about you, Ray?
Me, individual monster. Are we talking like cinema or just literature in general?
Oh,
Or
everything. Everything.
everything? Spring Hill Jack.
Spring Heel
Oh.
Jack.
I love.
Interesting.
That's why I put her or him in the Cryptonals, because I love Spring Hill Jack, man. And just the lore behind Spring Hill Jack is just fascinating to me. So
It is. It is. Rather than me like breaking it down for the audience, would you care to break it down? Who Spring Heel Jack is?
no, go for it, Brian. I want to hear what you have to say. Go for it.
I'd rather hear your Wikipedia entry version, Brian.
Yeah, right.
You were looking it up.
Well, that's a British beastie. That's what that
Mhm.
is. God. I mean,
He's
actually,
considered by some as the first superhero.
the Leaping Devil,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Yes.
The Leaping Devil too.
So he's not just a monster in a way. He's also like got the superhero thing to him, which is kind of cool because he's like a creepy hero, which I love that. Like the first
Yeah, me
hero
too.
ever
Yeah.
was like wearing like he wears a shirt with ribs on it and like
Yes.
badass boots and like he looks like how I just want to dress pretty much like in real life. So it's
Well, like a
awesome.
ghoul, you know,
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Like he looks like he's in a ghoulish biker gang.
Not only that, but
yeah.
he's got a bunch of powers, man. He could leap, he could fly.
Yeah.
He had claws. He could like blow blue flame out of his mouth. He had this cool helmet, and I always was fascinated by that. And as I started doing research for the book, I started finding out more and more about him. And he wasn't just limited to Britain or England, rather. He actually crossed to the Americas, and in the 1950s, he was sighted in Houston. He was also sighted in New Mexico and stuff like that as well.
Shit. Because I know he was in Scotland too, wasn't he?
Yes, I heard about that as well. That he was in Scotland and like some other. I guess he did kind of like a migration type of thing.
Right. Yeah, Spring Heel Jack's a very and also an underutilized character too. That's one of the reasons I'm excited for the Cryptinals, is because we're going to get some monsters that normally don't get a lot of attention. And I wish that the writers and the filmmakers that are out there right now, I wish they would spend a little more time with, maybe some of these lesser known creatures, and, where there's like really, great soil for mining creatively, rather than just doing like another werewolf movie or another vampire movie.
Oh
You
man. No, I totally agree with you on that. But who was next? That was my individual monster. Who was next? Like you said, Frankenstein, Spring Heel Jack.
Yeah, I was looking at what type of species it is, and it's considered a simulacrum creature, like man-made monster. So that's I think
There you
that
go.
was
There you go.
Ooh,
Yeah.
interesting.
For
like
me,
that.
it's all about this guy.
yeah.
Awesome. Very, very cool.
I mean, for me, it's the Mary Shelley monster. That's my favorite version of the monster. But
Yeah.
there's just something special and radiant and incandescent about
Iconic.
about Karloff's.
And Frankensteins are a bitch to kill in Castlevania.
Yeah, they are, aren't
Yes.
they? Yeah,
Especially
Dude.
in 4, man. 4 is
In D&D, they're hard to kill. What are you talking about?
yeah,
4
man.
in the first one, man. Fucking with Igor as his buddy. Shit.
Yeah, man.
Fuck you,
Uh,
Frank.
It's not his fault. Remember, he's not Frankenstein.
I know it's some creature, but still, it's
Yeah.
known as Frank
Yeah.
in the game.
I remember dressing up as the monster. This was like years ago, like way back in my goth days. And I had done myself up, and I had like the makeup and everything, and the bolts in my neck, and a suit jacket that was like a little too short, a little too small, right?
Mhm.
And God, a grown man, getting pissed off when people are like Frankenstein. I'm like, no, it's not Frankenstein. Frankenstein's the guy who makes the monster. What's the monster's name? He doesn't have one.
That's the Monster Squad quiz, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frankenstein, the name of the guy who created
Yeah.
Frankenstein, the monster. Or...
Good guy.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And God, man, that's like one of those figures that just towers over the world of horror.
Mhm.
And I think as a matter of fact, yeah, the most adapted novel of all time is Frankenstein. The second most adapted, Dracula.
Mhm.
Thank you, horror. You're welcome.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Here's the thing, man. Like, I also think we need to also ask, who's your favorite monster hunter? Because there's so many great monster hunters these days.
Oh man.
I want to hear what you guys
Easy.
think.
Shit.
It's this motherfucker right here. It's Captain
Chronos?
Chronos.
Yes, Captain
Oh.
Kronos. Fuck yeah.
Oh, classic.
Dude. I envy you. I want that figure, man. Damn, that's cool.
Custom made, dude.
That is really
Really?
that's custom.
Yeah. There's like only the guy who made these only made 50,
Oh wow.
and he's
That's
got the
lucky.
sword. This is God's blade, forged for your black hearts.
Dude, the sword fight at the end with the vampire, my god, dude, like
Epic.
you realize that he's a vampire, right? You could just attack. No, we're gonna fight with swords. Fuck it, let's go.
Yeah,
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 man.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
Love
and,
it.
And you know what kills me? That was going to be a franchise.
Yes, exactly.
And he was going to be fighting werewolves and mummies. He was going to go traveling through time. His name is Kronos after all.
Mhm.
Yeah. Although actually a favorite monster hunter above Kronos, Solomon Kane.
Oh, nice.
Solomon Kane's my favorite character. Period.
Oh, nice.
Like Solomon Kane is my guy. Like
Dude.
the best for me, the coolest character ever. It doesn't get any better than
Yeah,
Solomon Kane.
he's
What a
badass, man. We
bad,
ran I don't know if you guys are as nerdy as I am, but I played a few sessions of Ravenloft, and
Yeah.
my character, I based him off of Solomon King because he was such a badass dude. And if
Oh
we're gonna go
my
into Ravenloft,
God.
you got to have a monster hunter,
Oh, without a doubt. Oh no, you don't
Definitely.
go to Ravenloft unless you're bringing some wooden stakes and a lot of silver with you.
Oh yeah, that's awesome, man.
Let me see if I can go over here and.
Did you ever pick up the comic of Captain Kronos? It came out a few years ago, and I can't remember who did it. You have it?
Yeah, it was Tom Mandrake doing the art.
Oh, nice.
Let me see if I have that handy. You see, I never organize things on my bookshelves because I know that whenever I do, within like a month or two, it's all mixed up again.
I'm in the same boat, man. I have a mess everywhere.
But yeah, no, that might be upstairs. But yeah, it's my boy Solomon Kane.
Very cool. No, man, that's awesome. Is that an actual Migo?
This is no, it's not. It's like a full Amigo. Although Amigo's making is back in a big way. This is like an official product of the Robert E. Howard.
Ooh, nice.
Whatchamacallit? Estate.
Mhm.
Although Migo did something recently which made me really happy, which is this.
Oh shit.
Oh
man. That is fucking cool.
Sir Christopher.
Yep. Yeah. Oh,
you-
that's a good question. Best Dracula.
Are you jealous, Ray?
Ooh.
Yes, I'm very jealous because I passed up on that Christopher Lee. I saw it at Walmart and I didn't pick it up, man. I'm stupid.
And of course, I'm like, such a man child. I'm just like, I could set these two up so that they're having a battle. How great would that have been?
That would have been awesome, man.
That would have been epic. And Vaughn, if you have you seen Captain Kronos Vampire Hunter?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So your life is complete.
Yeah.
Anybody who hasn't seen that, go to. I think it's on Amazon Prime, and they're always putting shit behind paywalls and crap, but
Yeah.
it's definitely worth a rental.
Did I return your DVD, Ray?
Yes, I have my DVD. Finally, you gave it back to me after hundreds of years, and yes, I have the Captain Kronos on DVD.
Years. Fuck you, Ray.
DVD? What are you talking
What's
about?
that?
DVD? I got Blu-ray, son.
Oh, nice.
Don't
I'm
be
looking,
Hell
anxious.
yes.
I'm looking for it right now. No, I'm gonna be. All right, I'm just gonna. It's like leave the stuff alone, man. Leave the stuff alone. Just move back. Yeah, I can't tell you how many streams I've been on where people just start open up long boxes and shit just comes.
Those are the cool streams, man.
They are.
Hell
They
yeah.
are. They are. They are a hell of a lot of fun. Okay,
So did
we're coming
everybody
up.
answer their favorite Monster Hunter question?
I didn't say my monster or my hunter. I like when it comes to monsters, I've always had this kind of like recurring nightmare of being in the black of the ocean, floating, unable to do anything, and this giant serpent is staring me down, and it's Leviathan, and there's nothing I can do. It has me where it wants me, and there's just the serpent for me, like always symbolized this, like, this power, this fear, I guess, in the back of my mind, like of, I don't know, the forces beyond me. So I guess I've always had a Leviathan thing when it comes to monsters.
Interesting.
But
Interesting choice.
It's like the one that haunts me the most, as opposed to all the other ones that I just feel like are my friends at this point.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
If
Right.
that
The
makes
ones that
sense.
actually
So-
scare you.
Right. That's where I decided to reach for this, which for me, it's the black depths of the ocean and the places, we don't see. And
Oh, I hate that, man.
Lovecraftians. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Jaws traumatized me when I was a little kid.
Me too.
Traumatized me.
But I still love it.
It's brilliant, right?
Yeah.
It's one of the greatest
Mhm.
horror movies ever made, one of the best monster movies ever made.
Mhm.
And that thing
Great
is a
one.
freaking monster. Like,
It
sharks
is.
generally don't grow to be that size. And it seems to have almost a kind of like demonic intelligence. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So- With how relentless it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
we had a pool in the backyard. I didn't go swimming that entire summer. My parents were like,
yeah.
my parents were like, look, there's no way that thing could fit in the pool. Right? And I'm looking at it, I'm just kind of like, well, what if there's a secret door?
Like a
Opens up and that
Thunderball,
fucking thing's
like on
coming
James
for
Bond.
me.
Exactly.
Well,
What if a
it's-
helicopter dropped it in there? You never know.
Right. Well, it's like, like Vaughn, it's like you said, that feeling of absolute helplessness, because you're in their world, you're just swimming around, you're in the water, and
You can't get
there's
anywhere.
jack shit that you can do, jack shit,
Yeah.
and suddenly, guess what? You're not at the top of the food chain anymore.
Like when I read about werewolves, it was like, man, that's hot. That's sexy. Like, this is badass.
Yeah, I want to
you
be
know?
one.
I want to
Yeah.
be one. And like, but then
Mhm.
when I read about sea serpents as a kid, I was like, shit, man, I don't want to go. I don't want to go out there.
Well, you know, it's
creeps
like when
me
I was
out.
it's like when I was showing the like the monstrous races, you see, of course, the maps of the sea serpents. There's no
Mhm.
reason to believe that some of these ships weren't fucking attacked by something,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah,
We know that like
Something at
giant
least.
squid and octopuses, they exist.
Most
They're incredibly rare. The problem probably at the very bottom of the ocean, but the whole idea of the Kraken, I don't think that's completely made up. There's no way. Maybe exaggerated, right?
yeah, of
maybe.
course. It was a giant squid. They saw something very
Hmm.
rare, and it birthed this mythological monster in our minds.
Dude, you don't know. And I agree with Vonster on that, man. Like, Vaughn, you don't know what's out there. There's this dude on
Yep.
TikTok that I was following, that I made a TikTok with, but he's on a ship. He's out there on a ship, fishing. It's a fishing ship, and he starts hearing stuff, and he's recording it, and it's the siren. You can hear it. It's a siren, like clear as day. And everyone's like, it's a dolphin, and this and that. And some other guy comes in, and, like, shows him what a dolphin sounds like, and he's like, wait a minute, no, that's not what I heard. And the next part of that is he goes out there and he sees a crab. He gets a crab, and he's like talking to the crab, and he throws the crab overboard, and he starts walking away, and then the crab gets thrown back onto the ship by something out in the freaking ocean. And the video, and he's recording this, and he's like, what the hell? He starts freaking out, and I'm like, dude, that's not a mermaid. That's something that wants you to go with her in there into the ocean. So get away from that, man. Like, you don't want any part of that.
No shit. Oh God, man. And like the worst creature at like straight out of a fucking nightmare. Coconut crabs.
Oh, Amelia Earhart got eaten by coconut crabs.
Maybe. That's a
Maybe.
theory. That's a theory. We don't know that for sure. I think it's a morbid myth, but that people kind of want to be true because it's just so metal. But yeah, those I need to know where those things are so I could stay the fuck away for the rest of my damn life. Oh my! Oh, like here. Let me see if I can bust open a link here.
No,
Here's the thing about coconut crabs. They're actually kind of boring. I hate to say, like most of the time they're just curled up in a ball in the ground, like in the dirt, not doing anything.
But they'll come out and fucking eat birds.
Yeah, they'll come out and eat something, and then like they go back in, and that's
it's
it.
just those big claws, dude. Just like, I don't want any part of that.
I just get hungry, man. Some butter.
Yeah, no, I mean, look,
Some big pots.
I'm a pescatarian, which is to say, like, I'm kind of like a vegetarian who eats fish, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know we're living in this crazy time where like your diet is political, everything's political.
Oh, shit,
but I just
yeah.
like, yeah, just not into meat, but like crabs, lobsters, shrimp. I will eat sea urchins. I will eat eat the ass out of them, right? But a coconut crab? No.
No, gracias.
Let me ask you a question, Brian, about that
Dios
really
míos.
quickly. When you eat your seafood, and my wife thinks I'm weird about this, but when you eat your seafood, do you drink water or something else? Because I can't drink water with seafood because it just feels weird. Like I'm sending them back to the sea. I don't know. It's just me. My wife, she like trips out on me and shit.
Well, that's what my parents used to say. Like, you know, if you that it's the fish wanting to swim.
Exactly. There you go.
But no, I usually have like a Coke or it depends if I'm at a restaurant
Iced
or
tea.
yeah,
Iced
iced tea, yeah, man.
And I know it's dumb because I mean it's all liquid, but still, you know, it's just like the water thing. Like I don't know.
Well, I think it's because they're very salty. Because if they're not freshwater fish, if they're from the sea, they're saturated with salt water.
They're gonna resurrect in your stomach, Ray.
Shut up! Don't say that.
Fucking coconut crab.
I mean, come on, man. You got to know that's some succulent meat on those coconut crabs.
Oh, dude. Have you ever seen Mysterious Island, the Ray Harryhausen movie?
Yes.
That has a giant crab in it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they were like Ray Harryhausen's like, okay, so I'm gonna have to create like a crab. And so he was looking at like a model of he was looking at a live crab, and he was just like, well, shit, why don't we just cook this motherfucker and eat it? And that's exactly what they did. And then they used the shell, put that together with some kind of armature and just animated it.
That's
that's
crazy. That's cool.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, wow.
It is.
Because it had built-in joints.
Exactly.
Like he didn't have to like sculpt. It was like he got to eat and then get to animating.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But coconut crabs, no, do not look tasty to me. I would like the only way I would get within like 100 yards of one of those things is if I have a flamethrower. I'm talking
To
like,
cook
you
it.
know, not
Dude, I've been like close to them. They just sit in the ground in a ball and like don't.
really.
I'm not gonna hurt
Like,
you.
where did you see coconut crabs?
At the zoo I worked at.
No.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
All right,
okay.
I guess I'm staying the hell away from that zoo too.
No shit,
No,
No, dude,
ass breaks.
the giant lizards, the monitors, those things. Have you seen the
Oh.
videos where they like take
Yeah.
down deer or
Bones
whatever
and
and they
shit,
eat them
yeah.
alive? Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, no.
Yeah, well, the
that's
coconut
some
crabs
dinosaur
like grabbing
shit.
like birds and like breaking one wing,
That's
and then
exactly it.
breaking the other, and the others come in and just fucking eat it alive, just tear it to pieces.
Oh
Fuck
man.
that shit, man. Oh, I got myself worked up now. Calm the fuck down, bro. Calm the fuck down.
Ooh, it's okay, man. Jesus, I'm not taking you to Red Lobster anytime, fucker.
I
All you
don't
can
have a
eat shrimp.
problem with, dude. I'll eat the ass out of any crustacean.
All right.
Coconut crabs need to stay the hell away from me.
Oh,
Scary looking things. Yeah,
they'll have like a
Um,
coconut crab special when you go.
it's that fear of suddenly finding yourself at the bottom of the food chain. Like you look at all of
Right.
the deluge of shark movies that with the
Oh,
right. There's like a billion of them, and I don't watch them because I don't watch a lot of contemporary horror films to begin with because there's such a glut. I think like in 10 years you're going to know what's worth watching. Because even the most hardened horror fan can't wade through all this shit.
Yeah, it's like a blessing and a curse, right? Like
Yes.
there's so much shit, and it's like awesome for horror fans.
Anybody can make a movie.
Right, and yet it's like you have wading through it is quite the the task ahead.
It's
you know?
impossible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
impossible.
Yeah.
Speaking of sea creatures, can any of you guys? This is a little bit of a trick question. Can you tell me who this is?
That's the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Going on
Wrong.
another in the town.
Close.
I don't know.
It's-
Oh.
Oh, you almost got it.
No, I'm
I
gonna
wanna
give
say
up.
it
Go
if
ahead.
it's on the tip of your tongue. Okay, it's Uncle Gil from the Monsters.
Uncle Gil.
Which
Uncle
basically
Gil.
was a
Oh,
guy
yes.
in the
Oh.
in the Creature from the Black Lagoon costume,
Yeah.
wearing a coat, a scarf, and of course this lovely little hat.
Oh my god, that's
So
cool.
that was a trick question for
That's a
sure.
classic.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Oh, gee, how much are you looking forward, wink, wink, to the friggin' Rob Zombie Monsters movie?
Oh man, I don't know about that. Like,
Well, where is Rob on directing comedy? Like, you know, I know he could do creepy stuff. Like he does serial killery stuff that a lot of his fans, more people that are more hardcore, his fans seem to dig. I
He
never got
remakes-
as into him as other people did.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean,
He
like
keeps remaking the same movie, which is Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, right?
mhm.
oh shit.
Yeah.
And which is a classic, which is, I think, one of the great horror films of the 80s. I hated
yeah.
it when I first saw it, when it came out in its theatrical release. I thought it was garbage. And then I saw it again years later, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing! This is like a really important movie." But most people haven't seen it, so he can keep stealing. It's the same thing with like Quentin Tarantino, right? Now, I'm not saying that Quentin Tarantino's no talent, but his movies are always cobbled together from bits and pieces of other people's movies.
Right.
Exactly.
And-
He takes all the
That's his
cool
method.
parts and puts them together.
Right. Whereas Rob Zombie just keeps doing Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 over and over and over again, and then he doesn't give credit. You know, if somebody were to ask him in an interview, "So what's this new movie about?" And he'd be like, it's another remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I'd be like,
And my
I'd be
wife
like,
is in it.
oh god,
Yeah,
oh
of
god.
course.
Oh, dude, and his bitch. He has to put his bitch up in everything because he knows very well that the day that he's no longer able to make a movie, she's gonna be gone.
Oh yeah.
I hope he signed a prenup. That's all I'm saying.
It's in her contract, no?
It's in their contract.
Yeah. Oh God, because she's
Yeah.
definitely not into him for his sparkling personality. That's for sure.
Didn't he regret remaking Halloween on Joe Rogan? Didn't he
I
say
don't know.
something?
I,
Yeah, I fucked it up.
I didn't watch his Halloween remakes just because I don't watch anything that he does because it's just like I've seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre too. Why don't I just throw that in, rather than watch
Yeah,
other-
what have I seen
his
of his?
turkeys.
Let's see. House of a Thousand Corpses, and then
Yes.
Devil's
Those
Rejects, saw that
And
too.
then-
That was okay.
That was that it?
I saw the
Yeah,
what is
that'd
it?
be
The,
it.
the Lords of Salem made no
Lords of-
sense.
Yeah,
31
I heard
made
that.
no sense.
Yeah, I haven't seen those.
I wanted to see 31, but then I heard bad things, so I just didn't because I already don't care. Like I didn't care enough to see his Halloween remakes either. So
Yeah, same here. Same here. I read his screenplay for the Crow. He was supposed to do I think the first Crow sequel,
Oh
and I
really?
read it. Yeah, and it was Vampire Hunter D.
Oh man.
oops.
Oh shit!
Now I love me some Vampire Hunter D. I'm a huge
Yeah.
Vampire Hunter
dude,
D
but not
fan,
the Crow.
but don't
It's gonna-
try to just
I was-
shoehorn that into like a Crow movie.
I was gonna tell you guys my favorite Monster Hunter was Vampire Hunter D.
Yeah, it's
Excellent
awesome, man.
choice.
It's
Excellent
between
choice.
it's between that and Rudy from Monster Squad because
Oh nice.
Another
I'm in the
excellent
damn
choice.
club,
Like-
aren't I?
he's like an underrated badass, like teenager murderer of vampires. Oh,
Nice.
there's D. That's sweet.
Yeah,
That's from
Oh, but-
Bloodlust.
Yeah, the
Yep.
Yeah.
second movie.
With the hand. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, you can like disconnect one of his hands and replace it with the parasite.
Yeah.
So, who made that figure? Is that a
I'm not
NECA? Is
sure.
that okay.
It's not NECA. I think this is one of the Japanese joints because it doesn't have a lot of articulation.
Medicom or something.
I used to have that figure and the hat kept falling off of mine for some reason. Even though it's glued on.
Even though it's glued on.
Jesus.
God.
Yeah.
But yeah, Vampire Hunter D is the novels now have the light novels have been translated into English and are also if you're a Vampire
Have you
Hunter
ever,
D fan, I do recommend them.
Have you ever read the mangas that they came out with here?
No, I didn't even know that there was a Vampire Hunter D manga.
Well,
I know
let me
that there's
show
a
you-
series
yeah, I
that's
read-
supposed to be coming.
Let me show you what I got. I don't have all of them, but I have a pretty cool amount of them. Let's see.
Cool.
So,
Oh, hello. When did
And
these
they're-
come out?
I was getting these in the 2000 somethings. Let me see. What
And those
year
are
it
those are
says.
mangas?
Yeah, these are mangas. Look at how they colored the pages on the edges.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
awesome.
So like
That
the
is
red,
cool.
they got red, and then for purple, they did purple. Like
Nice.
it's cool looking. So you get you line them up and you get like these colors. You know, Well, this one's. I guess this one's like they started running out of money or something for that one. Just like, look, no more colors.
Copy
Or they
paper.
started doing colors. I can't remember which it was, but like, yeah, I thought these were really cool. But these are like really well done mangas that follow the actual light novel stories.
Hmm.
So it's
Nice.
like you get the cool manga version of the light novel stories. There's even the plot or the story that Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust is based off of in manga form here. I have it.
Oh,
Nice.
cool.
So- but it's manga form, and so it's got like differences.
Oh, I need
Um,
those.
But they're
I need
it's
those.
done by Digital Manga Publishing, DMP Books. Part of their sci-fi horror, but I mean the art is like freaking killer, like action manga.
Hell yeah.
Like it's what you want out of Vampire Hunter D. It's like how you want him to look.
Yeah.
It's romantic. It's Castlevania-esque.
Mhm.
Right.
It's beautiful. It's dark. It's gothy. It's
Is it-
creepy.
Is it the same
Fantastic.
person that did the character designs for Symphony of the Night? 'Cause
It's not, but
no.
this person
Because I remember they used that artist for covers, no?
Mhm.
Oh, those covers are so beautiful.
Yeah.
Let me
Those
see
are
who this
those
is
are just,
actually.
really lovely. Like the ones for the light novels, gorgeous.
Cocky.
I had the PlayStation game.
That
This
game-
is
really?
Psycho.
Badass.
She's a she did Vampire Hunter D. I got these in about 2007 was when I got the first one.
Okay.
So
And are those mirrored or those
left to right
like
or right to left?
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
These are like you read it like a regular manga in Japan,
okay?
right to left. Yeah.
Cool.
What else? Yeah, but she's known for doing this. I don't know what else she's known for though. This artist. I don't know what other mangas she's done.
Yeah, she the covers are by Yoshitaka Amano. Yeah, he's the artist for
Yeah, he did the Dream Hunters for Gaiman for the Sandman.
So kind of badass.
Oh,
Yeah, man. Oh, dude. Honestly, I feel like a douche for not even knowing that these existed.
And look how thick they are, man. It's just a great thing to lay in bed and read, and get it's like reading the light novels, but they're being drawn in the most badass gothic way ever. So I have 4 of them. So
Nice. Yeah, I'm definitely hopping on that. I know that there's a TV series, like a anime that's coming out, but it's going to be computer animated.
Wow.
And so I'm like, is it going to be computer animated like that hideous Berserk that return that they did?
I couldn't watch it.
I couldn't watch it either.
It
was too ugly.
Yeah, it was.
It was just hideous. It was just awful to
It
look
was a
at.
disgrace to the art from the book,
Yes.
It just didn't
Yes.
care.
Yeah. Kimura should have gone over there and whipped some ass.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was awful. But then you look at something like Beastars, for instance, and that's computer animated, but then it has hand drawn as well.
Yeah.
Like it uses right. In other words, it's like you can
They're
tell it's like,
finding
they're using it.
balances. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like that kind of works, and I'm hoping that the new Vampire Hunter D is going to be more like that and less like that Berserk series. What an insult that was.
Especially, I mean, part of the reason you love things like Vampire Hunter D and Berserk is because of the beautiful art that you want to enjoy and the fantasy you want to escape into. So it's
right.
You shouldn't disservice it, to like save
Definitely
a buck
not.
or whatever.
No, and especially when you know that that's a book that has a fan base. That's like that's very, very loyal. It's like, why would you want to piss those people off? Are you? Well, I mean, but then again, you have people. I mean, you look at, for instance, at what Hollywood is doing, and they're like, fuck the old fans. We don't care about them. We care about the new fans. Bring us the new fans. But
where are they?
Marvel and DC, they had an opportunity to bring back the old fans. They were never gonna get any new fans from the Marvel movies, right? Very, very few. Unless they'd done the smart thing and just put like cheap reprints, $2 a copy, in like the supermarket checkout lanes. In which case, every kid would be running around with comic books right now.
Exactly.
But they fucked that up badly. I keep hearing that the Shang-Chi movie is actually supposed to be good.
I heard that too. That it's like it sets up the next phase and it's really good and like everything makes sense and stuff. So I'm interested. I'm curious.
Now I'm curious. I wasn't curious before because it looked like hot garbage to me.
I'm tired of those movies setting up other movies. I mean,
Yeah, me too.
Just tell a story already.
All they had to do, like the Joker movie was like what, $20 million, and they made like $1 billion off of it.
Yeah.
All they had to do was Shang-Chi. $20 million budget, get freaking Iko Uwais, Tony Jaa, get the stunt crews from Thailand and from Indonesia, from the Raid and the Tony Jaa movies, and just had a whip ass martial arts movie that American audiences would have watched that and been like, I've never seen anything like this before, and it would have made a fortune.
That would have
Right?
been badass.
Yeah, it should have been like
sounds good.
Bruce, like Bruce Lee the movie, like Enter the Dragon esque. I mean, that's pretty much what Shang-Chi was. It was like Bruce Lee the comic book, kinda,
Mhm.
sorta. But anyway, we are going on 2.5 hours. We should plug your books before we sign out.
Sounds good.
Yeah. You want to bring up the Cryptidnals because like my
Like, you're a boomer and shit.
yeah, I'm an Xer with the mind of a boomer, unfortunately.
By the
Oh,
way,
good.
my favorite Monster Hunter of all time, Ash Williams.
Oh,
There we go.
Woo! Yes.
Excellent choice.
Mine would have to be Simon Belmont.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
I love Simon Belmont.
I thought you were gonna say the guy from Splatterhouse.
Rick Taylor, yeah,
Yeah.
that would be awesome. Rick Taylor, Simon Belmont, and Richter Belmont.
Oh hell yeah, man.
Even Tommy Jarvis would be a cool.
Oh, man.
He's the only guy who had balls to face Jason. So
Oh shit, dude. Oh, and the chick with the psychic powers too. But
Oh
That's
yeah,
horrible.
the
Carrie,
Jason versus
not
Carrie
Carrie.
movie. Yeah. I actually like that one. I know a lot of people don't. I actually dig it. I love when she's
Yeah.
like when she's like tightening the mask on his head.
Yeah,
And you see
Yeah.
like all this pus coming out, and then it breaks, and he turns around, and the makeup is spectacular.
that was awesome, man. That whole scene was awesome.
Yeah, I actually really like that one
yeah.
because of course when you get to like installment 6 or 7, there's start coming up with some wacky shit,
Yeah,
send
I
them in
mean,
outer space, and
So
you know.
personally, Jason Lives is a really good movie, man. Even though
It is.
they talk smack about, oh, it's a zombie Jason. Who cares?
That's a comic book movie. That's a total comic
Yeah,
book movie.
it
man.
is.
that's a Universal monster movie. If you look at
Yes.
it,
Mhm.
it's a
Yeah.
monster movie. Yeah.
That one's good, and I also like 4.
The last
Uh,
chapter.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't like that one like when I first saw it as a kid, and then I have a friend who's like way into like the slasher movies because I was never like a slasher guy.
Mhm.
I was always more of like a monster guy. And a lot of the slasher movies left me cold, but like now I can look back on some of them, especially some of the really mean ones like the Prowler. And then some of the really funny ones like the Mutilator. If you want like a good laugh, the Mutilator.
The Mutilator's badass.
What about
Isn't it?
the
Isn't
the killer from what's it called? The New York Ripper. That
Oh, the duck killer.
Oh yeah.
Lucio Fulci.
if you want, if
Yeah.
you want to feel sleaze and
Yes,
bad, watch
that's
that
like-
movie.
that's almost as filthy as you can get. There's a tier actually below
Oh
that.
shit!
But
Uh-oh, here we
Wanna
go.
get something.
But you know what makes me happy? What makes me really happy? New York Ripper, that misogynistic piece of filth.
Has the
I can-
best soundtrack ever, man.
Da, 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 da,
That's
da,
funky
da.
soundtrack.
Yeah, that's been restored in 4K, bitches.
Wow.
Gotta watch it then.
Beautiful.
I remember when Hell of the Living Dead came out on DVD, beautiful widescreen transfer, and I was just like, why? And then I realized, oh, because that's awesome. Yoink.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, yeah.
talking about this. I'm talking about Burial Ground.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Have you guys ever seen this?
Yes.
Completely contemptible piece of filth.
No.
Vile.
I've seen
Vile.
it.
Vile. This is as sleazy as you can get without penetration.
Mm.
You know
Only
what I'm
eye, only eye penetration, I bet.
saying?
Only eye penetration.
Because Fulci likes fucking up the eyeballs. I don't know why.
Oh, Fulci.
Yeah, he has an eye
yeah.
fetish.
He
Eyeball
loves the
fetish.
Well, he. Everybody who knew him said he hated women, right?
Oh, that explains a lot, man.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
does. It does. But yeah, Ollie, you were gonna share something?
Oh yeah, it's in the.
Cryptidals?
I-
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I
Yeah, it would
couldn't
help if
agree
I
more.
actually like.
We got all carried away, man. I'm sorry.
I know it's all good. There it is. There it is, folks. Now you're in demand.
Yeah.
How much longer are you gonna keep this campaign going? Do you think?
I don't know, man. Probably October. Close it.
I think so. I think we're looking at this being the last month.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
definitely gonna
So-
hit 20. With
I hope so.
Yeah.
without a doubt. Once again, this is just an amazing looking book. I'm in awe of that beautiful black and white art. It just looks freaking gorgeous. Have you checked this thing out, Vaughn?
Oh, many a time.
Right?
Yeah. Look, Ouija board. You shouldn't
there
have.
you
Yep.
go.
Shouldn't
Shouldn't
have. Nice
shouldn't
booty,
auto
though.
fucked with
No.
it.
I like the
But it
booty,
was
though.
the
Don't
Fisher
hurt it.
Price version.
Milton Bradley, actually.
Oh, touche, sir. Touche.
No, they somehow own the rights to that. Did you guys know the Ouija board named itself?
Oh shit.
Really?
That's how we got the name. We asked it what it was called.
No
Oh, man.
shit.
That's-
Yeah.
I just know that if you're playing with a Ouija board and it comes back and it says my name is Zozo, just get the fuck away and burn the house down.
Okay.
That's all I know about that.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not going to be a problem for me
That sounds
because
scary.
I will go nowhere near one of those.
we were actually kicking around the idea of having a mini Ouija board as a
Yeah.
but a lot
That's
of people said no, don't send that to me.
Keep that shit away from me.
Okay.
I'd
Pretty
like
much.
If it works,
Be like the Ouija board keychain, whatever. Let's go. I'm not
Wasn't it
doing
good?
if
anything
it's
while I'm
one
driving.
solid chunk, and the little pointer
It was
is
gonna
like
be
welded to it,
a mini print, and the planchette was gonna be a magnet,
planchette.
so you could have it in your fridge and shit. But yeah, well, nobody liked that idea, so
Yeah, I know. So we
Scrapped it.
like,
I'm too
Scrapped it.
superstitious.
and then
Way
we
too
said Prince, and they're like, yeah, Prince. Let's do Prince.
yeah, prints are safe. They don't invoke the devil. Just do it.
Seriously, man, like from studying the occult, I treat it like I don't know, like nitro.
No, and you know
treat it
what?
like
I should know
dynamite
better
that's,
too,
like,
man.
Dripping? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
it's
do.
true. Like I should know better because of all the shit that I've seen and it's happened to me. But I'm like, I was caught up in the moment. They're like, let's do Ouija boards. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Of course. What? Because also when you're a kid, you love getting together with your friends and getting yourself whipped up and more scared and more scared.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
My mom likes
natural.
getting me scared, and like one of the coolest parts was we'd take you to the library to try to find like the creepiest shit we could find, like books,
Yeah.
horror stories, man, stories about people being dared to sleep under a Black Aggie. You ever hear about her?
Oh, the Black Aggie, man.
Yes.
Oh,
Black Aggie,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit like that. Like it's fun. Like you have fun
It
with
is.
it, but you also, you grow up to learn about it more too and see the other side. So it's an interesting thing, man. It's
Yeah.
This book looks killer. It really
Yeah, it
does.
thank you, sir.
Thank you, man.
Your
Yeah.
book looks
Which one's-
killer, man. What are you talking about?
I know, but which one draws and writes or what? What do you?
Oh,
what do you guys-
I'm the writer, but the
yeah.
artist is not with us. He's chained to his work table
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now. So.
He's drawing right now. I'm the letterer
got
for
it.
this
As I
project.
hope
And
Preston
you're the
is
letterer.
right
Okay,
now.
cool.
And I don't care if there's a flood in New Orleans. Fucking Preston better be like floating along, busting out like 6 Gorilla pages.
Shit.
Very, very considerate of you.
Yeah. Well, what can I
He'll
say?
be
I'm
fine.
a
Deadline is a
considerate kind of guy.
deadline.
But yeah, Vaughn, if you
Tima's there. It'll be fine.
Yeah, but Harry Hardon is Ray.
Yes.
I have to ask him his
Okay.
name too.
Okay, cool. Super
Yeah, and
cool.
he's the author on this, and woo-wee! Yeah, absolutely friggin' fantastic looking book. Go and check this out, people. It comes with a bunch of cool stuff, and what can I say? This really looks like a special book.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for that. Yeah, and we're trying our hardest, man. Everything from 656
All my
Comics
business.
has to glow, has to shine. So
Truly.
As I always tell people, 656 is the new hotness. Without a doubt, you guys are freaking amazing, and I
Yeah.
can't
thank you.
can't wait to get
Cool.
this, and I can't wait to see what you do after that, and after that, and after that. Thrilled to have Ollie doing
yeah.
absolutely beautiful, amazing colors for Six Gun. Yeah, no, you guys are the shit. Vaughn, do you really quickly want to share your screen so we can just like pimp the last opportunity for
I
people to get
I shared a little something
there we
with
go.
you.
There we go.
Monster MD, you know the name. There's a little time left, people. Tick, tick, tock. What is it? 5 hours? Okay.
5
And then We're
hours?
off this. We're finally off this.
Are you doing a stream or something, dude?
Yeah, I'm gonna hop on with Eric.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
You guys will see me on with Eric Weathers later tonight, and
All right.
Rob and Michael Bancroft, some really cool peoples of the Comicsgate Persuasion. So come hang, please.
I will.
We're all
I will,
invited.
without a doubt. Without a doubt.
But
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
we're just gonna, we're gonna close it out, just chill, real low key, have some fun. And yeah, man, I appreciate everybody's support on this. I couldn't have done it without everybody. It's been a long time coming. This book. I've had people tell me that putting my time into this was a waste of time. I had people tell me it was never going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
I had a lot of stuff, but it doesn't. You can't listen. You just have to you work hard. You find what's cool. You figure out what works and what makes people happy, and you do the best, put out the best books you can. So this is my attempt at that, and I'm really glad it turned out so well, because I did treat it like it was a 100K campaign. Even though I didn't think I would even make 30.
We told you, dude.
Yeah.
Before you even hit 50, we were telling you.
I was like, if I make 30, it's gonna be
man.
so badass, man.
It's watch it see, mofo. Watch it see.
Yeah. Well, I'm so happy that people are responding so well to this. It means I've got something good cooking here, but I have other cool stories I want to share too. So I just hope people want to stick with all these ideas I have going. But I mean, with my style, you're gonna get my flavor, if you will. It's gonna be good comedy mixed with good action, a lot of violence, but a lot of heart, a lot of cool, good, well-designed characters, and a story that just really reaches into things, that wants to be human before it wants to just be about visuals. You know what I mean? I want to have a good, strong core that gets people excited, that gets you to connect and just get into it. So I'm doing my best, and I'm telling all the stories I've always wanted to tell. This is just one. Thanks so much. I mean,
You're killing it.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I mean, no expectations for the
just me.
future. We'll see. It's not like I'm going to do this. It's not like I'm going to. This was up for so long. This was such a long campaign. I don't think I could do 100K again, so that's okay. But if I get to make comics, dude, if I get to keep making comics, that's all I care about. You know,
brother, man,
Awesome.
you are going to go way beyond 100K on your next campaign, because you delivered well, and I haven't heard anybody that's read this that doesn't love it to bits. So
here's hoping.
Shit.
Thank you.
Hoping
guys.
nothing,
Appreciate
dude.
you.
You're there, brother. You're there.
All right,
but yeah,
all right.
at the same time, you can't you can't rest on your laurels. You got to keep going forward and keep getting better and better and better and better. And every book is about funding the next book.
It's true.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
I've got multiple books juggling in the background that are so cool. They're so I want to
I know.
Actually, now that I have a Substack going, I'm going to be able to. So I'm going to be able to finally share stuff instead of holding on to it forever and just kind of staring at it in a folder.
It's so crazy. I've got a lot of stuff coming. Some stuff I can talk about, some stuff I can't talk about. There's the Blood Hunt Doc Salem crossover. That's gonna be amazing.
Yes,
I've already
that
seen
is.
some of the Sim's doing
I'm
doing
excited.
the layouts, and
Who is?
Preston's doing Sim is doing the layouts.
Oh,
and Preston's
Sim is.
doing the finishes.
Oh, that's a good team.
Nice.
Holy shit.
I have been privy to some of the test pages.
Oh,
And
sounds good, man.
yeah, man, it's gonna that's gonna be awesome.
I love stuff like that.
Oh, that one's just gonna be just fun.
Mhm.
And but yeah, no, I mean, it's just we got a beautiful thing, and all you backers out there, salutations to you, because we couldn't do any of this shit without
Exactly.
you. So
Truth.
much love to you all. And with that, I'm gonna end the broadcast. And what can I say, folks? Dream big, work hard. Peace and love.
Later.